Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. Happy Saturday! You made it to the weekend. Welcome. I should maybe crack here. Also, game. Hello. Game, there it is. There it is. May as well go see if Foreman Thistlenuttle is up. I'd like to thank Islwind for a 11-month resub. Thank you very much. Selena Locke with a 23-month resub. Hi, Hazel. 23 months already. Keep up the great work. Thank you. And Green Arrowed with a 12-month resub. Happy 1 year. Good morning, everybody. Shirt goes well. Matches my pajamas, too. I am very freshly out of bed, but that's okay. We're on time. I think today was about as close as I've come in a long time, perhaps ever, to sleeping past my alarm and completely missing stream, but I didn't. I slept past my alarm a little bit, but then at 20 to 9, I leapt from bed and I thought, I must make coffee. Hang on. Kitty cat, I thought you might be there. I'm so sorry, I almost closed the office door. You want to come sit on my lap? Cupcake Chaos, thank you very much for the 33-month resub. Happy Saturday and 33 months, Hazel. I, too, am still in PJs, finally having a coffee. Always lovely to spend the morning with you. Oh, shucks, thanks. Oh, Kitty, should we try some of the coffee? Should we see if it's any good? Also, I have game sound very, very off. Usually I do that on Friday nights. Let's turn that back on. I need that Westfall music. Something like that. Hi. Hello. How did you sleep? Where did you sleep? You sleep up front again? She's claimed my pink chair in my living room, and she looks real cute on it, but I would be lying if I said I didn't kind of miss it when you slept in bed with me. I know there was less room for everybody, and this way you don't get, like, buffed whenever I roll over because I sleep like a tornado, but... Alright. You're just so... She's real nice to cuddle. I'm in work. I'll report back later for my cat. Breakfast and or coffee. I speed ran a piece of peanut butter toast on the last of my first loaf of homemade bread. And coffee is here, but I have not yet begun consuming it. What if I just, before we start Nighthold, because we will do Nighthold today. Crinkle is one of my Nighthold characters, but what if while she's out here in the Dead Mines, what if we just take a look? What if we just do the one heroic Dead Mines run, and then maybe Vanessa will give me those boots I want, and I can leave her alone. Trying to show our kitten Kira on the screen. Since when is this a democracy? Kira and I are all of us, because this is I am the tyrannical dictator. I am a tyrannical dictator. Good luck. Time Rift? No. Not today. I am generally speaking doing time rifts, and I actually kind of like them, but I need a break from them today. Then it's tea time with Gul'dan. Oh, it sounded like chat. If you asked chat if we could do that, and I'm unsure that we could stop you. That is true. I am fairly all-powerful. I'll be more all-powerful post-caffeine. Let's see here. This one's water. Gul'dan time rift. If you think you're a tyrannical dictator and you have a cat, I think you are mistaken. This is true. I don't know what kind of form of government Kira and I have formed here together, but yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily the only one making choices. If only there were a way to complete a rift. What do you mean? Are they not working for you? Are they bugged? 'Cause that's a bummer. So I know that sometimes they're... Ooh, is that a BOE? It is a BOE, but it's not a very rare one. I turned TSM back on very slowly on the characters that I'm farming stuff on, because they don't really need to use items out of their bags. It's not like I'm using their runes or their flasks or anything like that. And sometimes an item drops and I want to be like, ooh, is that rare? Is that worth something? I wish I knew how many attempts I have on Gul'dan In the next time I start a mount run, I'm gonna maybe try and be a little bit more diligent to turn on rarity, but even on I swear, even on characters that have rarity turned on, I think it's just stopped tracking. I think my rarity has stopped caring about whether or not I get the green infernal from Gul'dan. I don't think it's looking into it anymore. What if it's sitting in somebody's bags this whole time and that's why? Yeah, you'd think I would have noticed that. I do look at their bags. Have you seen the massive population growth in classic servers? I haven't. That's great. Instance is full or the boss is dead before I can finish loading in. Oh, that sucks. That's no fun at all. That's no good. Rarity has stopped tracking my world boss mount attempts. The ding from Looter Praiser is a dopamine hit like no other. There's an add-on that I still haven't turned back on. I like Looter Praiser a lot, but I've come to realize that I am never selling all of the Mog for what it's worth. My favorite thing to do is to take Mog that's like medium value and then to post it for pennies and then hope that, I mean, presumably someone's going to get it and flip it, but maybe someone will find it who actually needs the transmog, because sometimes I snipe Mog and I only ever do that when I want to like actually learn it. So I'm also the premier source on Lightbringer of petrified shin bones. I don't know if anybody bought any last night, but I've got an additional 4 up. They're 10 gold each. I think I've sold, I think that'll be 8. I think I might even have another one in my, yeah, I've got more here. They drop like candy from the mobs in the area around where I'm farming for a pair of glove for these basically. They drop from the mobs that are around Form and Thistle Nettle. And I just keep getting them. And you know, it's kind of a cool appearance. It didn't used to be moggable, but it is these days. You could have a bone. A big old bonky bone. Who doesn't want a big old bonky bone? Hi, kitty. Hello. Kitty, the one nice thing about starting streams with crafting is that it gives me more time to pet you with both hands and then also drink coffee. I feel compelled towards the end of this instance, which involves using my hands. Gonna buy a shin bone just because on my Lightbringer too. Definitely need that Mog. Sometimes I search it for unlearned Mog, buy everything I don't have below 250, 500 gold. I do precisely the same thing, although your threshold's higher than mine. I'm really cheap. I buy things when they're under like 100 gold. Unless sometimes I'll kind of mouse over some of the higher ones and see, oh, does it look cool, or is it the only one, or is it, you know, usually worth much more than that, and then maybe, but... shin bones connected to the Monopoly. Design team needs an anatomy lesson. That's a fantasy game. Anatomy's open to interpretation. I was daydreaming about what if aliens were really, they came and they populated the earth and they were really smart. And some of them decided to take over humans as a food source. And then some of them decided that humans were really cute and they were going to take us over as pets. And then if I got adopted by a really super smart alien and I was put into the role of a house cat, what does that look like? How big are these aliens? Are they keeping me in like a condo, or am I being moved into a, you know, what does the human habitat look like when recreated by a super powered alien species as a hobby habitat? I do need coffee. Yeah, there would be, you're basically describing the way humans treat everything else. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is true. And we go, well, it's because we're so smart. That's why we get to do this, is because we can. So I figure if there's aliens that are really smart and they can, then they should get to too. But I was mostly interested in if somebody was going to keep me like a cat, what do they feed me? Oh, this is so full. How did I not spell that? Also, I've lost an earbud. Earbud down. Here it is. Okay. Like a cat or like a kid? I mean, it would probably be like a cuter, fluffier version of how they raise their children, based on the fact that I raise my cat kind of like a baby. Actually, that's not true. I don't really know a lot about how people raise children, but it probably doesn't involve quite this much smushing and, well, might involve smooches. Don't forget to try taunting Vanessa first. I will probably forget to try taunting Vanessa first. I should try. I would like to loot her in here instead of via mail, but If we're being honest, with this level of caffeine and this level of muscle memory, my odds are not good. Are we gonna do all the thing random again today? Well, I haven't gotten my Spangenhelm. I feel as though all the thing random has proclaimed me a destiny, and I am not allowed to get another random item from it to pursue until after I've achieved the first one. So I need to keep taking my leather-wearing characters and send them through 10-man ICC to try to get that Druid Helm lookalike from Velrothia Dreamwalker, and until I get it, I'm not ready for another journey. But that's actually not what today is, despite the fact that I really do want to do that. I want to do Gul'dan today because it's Saturday, and on Saturdays we kill Gul'dan. Or we go see him, and then sometimes he gets very angry at me, and then I kill him, and then maybe he has something for me. Chat will remind me, but they will remind me about 8 seconds too late. The delay is just, the delay is a real rude thing. I have all the leather mug from ICC collected. Oh, that's a lot of transmog. I didn't know just how much mog there was in ICC until I started looking at all the things again, because I think it's just because there's so many different... I'm assuming that they are recolored for different difficulties, or at the very least counted multiple times. It's a bit much. We're going over this one. Work yesterday with the thingy that you kept forgetting? Oh. Oh, the handles I saw the message after I'd already turned around though. Yeah, I found it yesterday that there is a birdwatcher title. Ooh, is that the one for taking the selfies with the birds? Because every time I see that griffin, the ghost griffin in the Waking Shores, I always take selfies with it. My selfie camera bugs out and I take like 40,000 of them. And then I'm pretty sure I still don't have any credit, so I don't think I understand that achievement. I think I'm doing it wrong. Don't tell me it's bugged. I'm assuming it's not. I think I'm the bugged one because the achievement's been around and people have been like doing it, I think. I think I'm the only one that's having a problem. Hey, Zoldak has the birdwatcher title. It can be done. It can be done. Went on a big adventure spree after stream on Sunday in search of the warlock customizations. Have like 3 imps left to unlock. Super easy to unlock most of them, 2 to 3 hours. Oh, fun. That's cool. I should do that at some point. I think I might be casually waiting until I get Eridar Draenei. I was just going to make like a regular Draenei warlock or a Lightforged warlock, which I could now do. But the Eridar colors are pretty cool. Never seen the Nightmare part? It's from Heroic Deadmines. So the regular version of the instance that you get while leveling won't have this. This last boss is on the heroic version only. Make your way back before the nightmare overcomes you. I don't think I'm on a timer. I do need to get up and scoop my cat box. It's fairly urgent, but we're close here. I'm gonna taunt. I'm gonna taunt the boss. I'm gonna taunt the boss. It's my 4 key. Hello. Huh. So she runs around, and then I'm gonna let her hit me. Huh. And then I'm gonna hit her. And then she's gonna... Usually there's a thing where you like swing off of the boat on a big rope. Yeah. Nope. Nope, no good. Didn't matter. Alright. Well, I'm gonna port myself out of here with a definitely not cheesy trick. And I will be right back 1 sec. Okie dokie. Boss 330, thank you for the 4-month resub. I'm not sure if I have a Ludarang. If you were to choose a storyline for a new starter, what expansion would you choose? For a new starter. Oh, I see. I like the Cataclysm ones. I like wandering around the dock shore and have everybody be like, man, this dock is gone. Can you go help? There's people on the beach. It makes me feel important and like they actually need me. Okay, let's check down a mailbox. We're hoping for Guildmaster's Greaves is what I need. They're plate boots from Vanessa. Those are the wrong boots! She drops so much stuff. Or maybe that's from something else. Yeah, no, she keeps dropping me these leather boots. They're not what I need. She has plate boots and she won't give them to me. It's something we're gonna have to work on. So I'm gonna get myself back to where she was. Although, I mean, I guess we can go do one more kill in Foreman Thistlenettle, but I'm gonna have to do Gul'dan eventually. Maybe I should just do it on this character. Vanessa from the Heritage Quest a ghost, or did she survive the Dead Mines dungeon? I think that they did some kind of a cutscene or something that implied, and maybe I'm just making this up in my head. I might be making this up in my head. Yeah, I think if we're being honest, I have no idea. I have this idea that they kind of retconned it a little bit because I'm pretty sure she was dead, but maybe somebody went in there and scraped her pieces together and put some goblin staples back in. Who is Gul'dan? It's a fun nickname for Gul'dan. Dying, merely an inconvenience. Mini storyline of Legion, she's part of the rogue class order stuff. Did my ATT random, gave me an Aberrus piece. Not sure I can farm for that one pretty easily. I think I've decided that one of the core tenets of the ATT random game is if it gives you something stupid to farm, then you re-roll until it gives you something reasonable. I was playing with the button, not to get a new project, because I already have a project, because I have yet to loot my Spangenhelm. But I was playing with the button, and it pulled out a lot of PvP pieces, which, I mean, I guess I could get them. It would just be a matter of farming 12 Marks of Honor and mailing them over. But not exactly what I had in mind. Same thing with like Aberrus loot. I mean, you could make a project of it, especially, well, if it's on Mythic, then that's harder. Normal or even heroic Aberrus loot, you could set up an alt and you could gear it and you could pug, and you could, you know, need roll on it even if it's not very well itemized for you. The ATT random game is when you're using all the things. And you use this, here, I might need to actually load the whole thing first just so it can update itself. There we go. So you go ATT space random, and then you get this window. You can have it search for a random anything. I've been using item, and it will roll a random thing of the things that you don't need for you, and then you take that as your destined mission to go get this. So if I was playing the game right now, I would need to go farm this plate helmet that is 4 warriors out of the battle for Mount Hyjal. So I would probably need to take warriors there, I'm assuming. And then go, or no, pardon, not Hyjal, Black Temple? Why did I say Hyjal? Oh, because it's on the Hyjal vendor, because it's tier, it's a warrior tier helm. But it looks like it can also drop in Black Temple? I don't know. When in doubt, wowhead it, but that's the random game. Foreman Thistlenettle, would you please drop me some gloves? Nope, okay, that was attempt 62. I got some more attempts in yesterday, but no luck yet. Alright, let's go see Gul'dan. I'm just gonna start with Crinkle because I'm on her already. Do you want to have another pronunciation pointer to sound even more German? Yes! Quite. According to Vanessa, we were like super high when we killed her, so she easily faked her death. Yeah, right. Do I want to sell any of this? Probably not. I don't think I have anything. Ooh, I have cloth gloves though. Praise can I Magat. I have cloth gloves that I apparently don't have the appearance for yet, so I'm going to send those to a clothy. The rest of it looks like I've already learned. I've also been mining copper down there, because what else are you going to do while waiting for this mob to respawn? So she can take these cloth gloves. And then I'm going to sell this stuff to an actual vendor instead of my mount, you know? Just for old time's sake. Hello. Please give me gold in exchange for all of this random garbage. I don't want that. I figure I'm going to end up with an awful lot I'm gonna end up with an awful lot of stuff while doing this, so I'm gonna be very, very discerning about the sorts of things that I try and actually auction off. And I am going to sell them for dirt cheap, so Mog flippers can buy them if they want. It's no skin off my back. I don't know why I would rather... So if I vendor it, I'll get like 7 silver. I would so much rather sell that for like 15 gold, even though it's like 15 gold. It's like I could make more gold than that in about a half a second doing alchemy. It's not worth the time investment. I think it's because I want someone to have the Mog, you know? I get excited when I find an uncollected piece for a reasonable price that I could use, and I want other people to have that same experience. I am giving back to the community and ruining the transmog market. Yeah, we'll sell the purple robe too. Sure. Although if I post anything for like 5 gold and it doesn't sell, then I'm vendoring it. If it bounces back in the mail once, it's game over. I'm bored of selecting things now, so unless it's like 1,000 gold or more, we're gonna not worry about it. I have all kinds of those. Don't need any of that. Bracers are hard. The shin bone's kind of difficult to to sell because I have a lot of them, but I'll do my best. Hello, Hazel and Hazel Enjoyers. Hello, Alice and Isle. Annoyed that the Antorus Rogue Boots only drop in BFA content. Eh? Listing mob for 5 gold. My realm is so low pop, no one buys it. Yeah, that is the struggle. I can sell some 310 gold for all this copper. So we're gonna go ahead and say 5. You know, it's gray armor. 5. The one thing I do check when I'm doing this is I check the deposit. If the deposit is more than what I'm listing it for, then I don't worry about it. This one I might say 25. You know, that's the thing they found at the thrift store that had the Armani label on it or whatever. It's still cheaper than it would have been new, but you know, you gotta part with 25 gold if you want that one. This one seems like a 14. This one feels like a 3. And then this one feels maybe like an 8.92. That seems reasonable. It feels like a garage sale. So much fun. Shin bones? Oh, somebody bought my shin bones. All right, one more. 10 gold. Shin bones for the people. I'm sure I will have more of those before my time is up. Auction house is region-wide for commodities. So things that stack up and you can, and consumables, your potions, your runes, your herbs, all that stuff is going to be region-wide. But specific things like transmog and pets, those are still server-specific. All right, let's point ourselves in vaguely the correct direction for Gul'dan. And say hi to Kitty Cat again. Hello, welcome back. You have very lovely fur this morning. How do you do it? What's your secret? I mean, I brushed you, but not yesterday. You want me to brush you again today? She really likes her brush. Sometimes if I go too much, she's like, Mom, stop. Leave me alone. But most of the time, she gets real into it. Hi. And it's just so cute. And I get so much fur off of you. And that's fur that you don't have to lose later, you know? It's less fur that you gotta eat. You will have at least 2 more in your legs. You get it. Well, TSM priced the Mog for me. Interesting thing to watch as it scans. Cats got to go on a trip to the vet today. Get some vaccinations. They were very sad. Now they're napping. It's a big day. Worth it though. Good thing to do. Perfect angel energy. Baby. I've flown very far to the west. We're heading back this way. I have, what is it, 15 attempts? I may not get through all of them today because I'm starting a little late because I needed to go talk to Vanessa, but we're gonna raid difficulty mythic. 15 attempts because I can do the skip. I don't think there's any transmog I need left from the skip bosses. Maybe there is. I'm sure there's lots of transmog I need from the other bosses, but that's not what I'm here for right now. Elbow's optional. Thank you very much for the 28-month resub. Happy Saturday. There's a book called Crafting with Cat Hair, Cute Handicrafts to Make with Your Cat. Yeah, I've seen stuff like that, and sometimes it can be very cute. I don't want it though. Something I possess the same instinct that makes me go, I don't know. I'm not keeping that. Maybe that's too uptight of me. Remind me what the drop rate is for the mount? I want to say 1%. I don't know though. That's my instinct. Like the Nighthold skip, because that one is definitely easier to do specific bosses and not others. It's nice because it mostly prevents me from getting horrifically lost or turned around. Although I am much better at full clearing Nighthold than I used to be. There's so much stuff. There's so much stuff. That's not a low-cut chest plate at all. It's a turtleneck. What do you mean? I had to check. This way. Oh, speaking of Gul'dan, we must have our friend Gul'dan. He's going to be our good luck charm. I spent my 2,750 paracausal flakes on him for a reason. He's also like basically the size of my gnome. He's coming with me. I'm also, I don't want to say lost, but a little bit. Yeah, we've gone too far. Hole in the wall. There it is. Is there an infernal pet? There's an infernal pet from Time Rifts, actually, that I don't have yet. There's Doom Rubble, but Gul'dan's mandatory. Red Infernal is 1%. The green might be a 0.5%. The justification is you can farm it 3 times more. Weird. It seems strange to me that the one from the lower difficulty would be less common, because especially when the content was current, you know, people weren't necessarily going to farm it 3 times to try to get them out. I don't know. Drop rates are difficult to know because they're never going to tell me. They're never going to call me up and be like, it's 1.87%. Opposite, got the green, need the red. Only pet I really wanted to buy from the Time Rifts, and it just dropped. Oh, nice. I can't take credit for coming up with Gul'dan. I don't know who did, but I picked it up because my chat was saying it, so might have been Jeff. Guaranteed epic reward buff for the Time Rift has been stuck on me for 2 days. Feel like I'm exploiting. I've heard some people doing that. Oh, somebody bought my Buey robe. 8 gold 92. I hope they're happy with it. Enjoy your purchase. Yeah, I've heard some people say that they got the buff stuck and they just slammed Time Rifts all day while they had it up. Auction House Dance Party. Love the buff. It's so fun. Never gotten it before. It is Auction House Dance Party today. Main auction houses have been cleared out and turned into dance parties. Crowd on in. Takes me a month to sell transmog at a real price. What are you implying? Also, am I wearing all of my gear? Why is this difficult? I guess, I mean, to be fair, my item level sucks. But it feels like I put on something to learn it for transmog and then... you know, it's a Legion raid. I guess I'm just, you know what, it's because I'm trying to kill everything with Whirlwind. I'm not using my real buttons, that's why. When I'm in the Dead Mines, I can just kill everything with Whirlwind and it's super fun. Whelp daycare, be sure to wear your skinned whelp shoulders. I do need to do whelp daycare today too. There's too many things to do. There's too many things to do. I miss living in a world, and I guess I can just make the world for myself, where there's just one thing at a time. 10.15's got a lot of fun stuff in it, but the problem is that it's a little bit of a lot of things. It's a do a Time Rift in the hour and do this daily every day, and then, I mean, the Mega Dungeon's just once a week. That's not such a big deal, but I just want like a mono grind. I want someone to sit me down with a fishing rod and a dock and be like, fish up this steel scale crush fish. It has a 0.2% drop rate. Good luck, you know. It is all for mogs and pets and stuff, that's true, but it's just in so many different pieces that it kind of makes my brain itchy. I want to finish some of them so that I can focus more on other things. Don't forget the alts. Yeah, I think that my Resto Druid project might have to be tabled for now. I think it's just too much. You can do Time Rifts as much as you want. You're going to get an extra bonus of 1,000 flakes for the first one every week on your account, but most people are spamming them every hour. Yeah, that's true. The Whelp Daycare quests are fast, and they're very cute. Itchy brain isn't good. There's a skull in the way. It's a good thing there's a skull in the way, or else I would have turned my brain into a smoothie. Hi. You got some purrs going on. You want to purr for the people? Sometimes she likes her microphone. Cat ASMR. Hi. Oh, Elison's ready for me. Hello. Slammed Sark 4 times this morning in LFR. I need the gold from the tank cache. T3 is expensive. Oh yeah. T3 is expensive. I think that's one reason why I've decided to put it down, like put that dream away for now. Is I am doing less damage than I was last week. I must have taken some gear off or something. I don't think that I have, but like maybe did I ruin a talent? I don't know. I swear even Crinkle didn't struggle this much. How expensive is T3? Millions. I'm pretty sure it's millions. And it's vendor mats too, so there's no real way around it. Hazel, I love your hair. Oh, thank you very much. Not worth that much gold to me. 2.8 million for a full set or something like that. Yeah, less millions than I have, but more millions than I want to spend. I guess I have been, you know, I have been asking them to add gold sinks, or I've been looking forward to the next time they add gold sinks. And then they add one, and I'm like, that's too expensive. But, you know, I want them to have a gold sink for something weird. And something that feels more directly relevant to me. I do have Invincible. You'd never know though, you can't see him. Oh, original joke. Streamer so funny. Streamer needs more coffee. Gul'dan, do I need to pop cooldowns or something for this? Are we gonna be okay here? Race to World First and Great Push. Race to World First is Raid. Great Push is Dungeons. Race to World First is also kind of like when the content first comes out, they're racing to be the first people to finish it on the highest difficulty. Whereas the Great Push is more of like an intentionally organized esports event where the content's been done before, but they're televising it, so to speak, on the internet in a competition format. Race to World First is a bit more organic. It's not technically like a thing that Blizzard puts on. It's something the community kind of made. Mia15, thank you very much for the 13-month resub. Just got midnight on my 46th attempt. Huzzah! Congratulations, Mia. That's lucky. Lucky ladybug. Never gotten a mil gold because I keep sending money to my alts and their outfits have to be cute. Documentary's fun to watch? I didn't know if I don't know if I knew there was a documentary. It's getting close, so it's gonna have to do mechanics. We're at least 140 attempts in, but I'm pretty sure I'm quite a few more than that. Da-da-da. Nope. Now we're at least 141 attempts in. Although, I don't know if it ticked up, but it must have. I have rarity on. Anyway. That was Mythic. We drop it back down. Go do Heroic. And then Normal. I have some acoustic foam that I got that I want to install and set up in my office. And I want to do like a whole thing about it. But I won't let myself start it until I finish this dungeon guide that's crazy late that that I'm hoping at least one person left on the planet will still need by the time I'm done with it. Because you gotta finish a thing before you start the next thing. But I won't let myself put up the foam until I'm ready to record it, and I'm not gonna let myself do that until I'm done the dungeon guide. So I've had these boxes of foam panels just like waiting. They were on my dining table, and then they were on my coffee table, and then they're on my floor. Hi, kitty cat. Raid difficulty, heroic. That's what we're doing. If it's a dungeon guide for Ruby life pools, I have bad news. Won't do it until you make the guide, so there's your person. Aw, thank you. It's almost done. It's all written, recorded. It's half or more edited. I think I have like 4 bosses left to edit. I'm pretty sure I finished editing a Rittercron. I just need to find some time today, I think. I don't think I have anything else that's gonna set me off today, aside from going back to bed. I had kind of a weird... I ended up staying up a little bit too late last night, and then I had like a huge bedtime snack at midnight, and kind of a bizarre sleep following because of that, so I may go back to bed for a while after stream. There has to be a FOMO joke there somewhere. I'm just very curious if... because my microphone sounds pretty good. And I have greatly reduced the echo from what it was when I first moved in here because I've added rugs and plushie shelves and canvases and cushions and all these things. Curtains, whatever. However, I think that there is still some amount of harshness from the flat wall that's behind me. And I'm very curious about whether or not this will make a difference. That's kind of the video that I want to make, is finding out A, whether it makes a difference, because I want to do like basically comparative sound tests in the different stages of installing it, and then B, how much of a difference, because if I can just, I mean, I know that it's not just about the foam, but if I can find a way to sound like duck sauce, I feel like that's something we should do. What snack? It was a yam quesadilla. I will take no further questions. Madrig the Dwarf, thank you for the 9-month resub. We had the same Friday night. If you get the Nighthold skip on one toon, it is only for that toon, but if you get it on Mythic, that same toon can also skip on Heroic and Normal. But you have to unlock the skip separately for each character. I like yams. Hi, Hazel. Hello. How you doing? Yuck. What do you mean? You take that back. Goofy voice filter instead. Groovy. Love your hair. Oh, I thank you. I like that I was able to ungraciously crawl from bed this morning and sprint for stream, and I am many things. Polished is not one of them, but I don't have bedhead. Or do I always have bedhead? Who's to say? Tiragosa, thank you for the 37-month resub. Yams are good, questionable at midnight. I should clarify, the yam-based filling was already pre-prepared and in the fridge as leftovers. So I wasn't like roasting yams in the middle of the night. Yam quesadilla sounds good though. Taking a look at the time rift rewards, they're so cool. I'm glad that they drop in addition to being on the vendor. The vendor seems to be just kind of like a bad luck protection for something that you really want. Speaking of which, let's get Gul'dan out here. Because I was looking through the Mog vendors being like, oh, I have a good amount of this stuff already, and I haven't done that crazy many runs, so it's nice that it's dropping. Did not assume you were full on cooking at midnight. Yams replace the cheese. Yams in addition to cheese, I think. I'll admit, I had help. Font of night. Can you spam them 24/7? They spawn at the top of the hour, so you could do 24 of them if you decided that sleep was not an important value to you. That would be my favorite thing, never brushing my hair. I don't do it until it's impossible to ignore. Whenever it started to get like a little scruffier, I had to dig out like my hair comb so that I could kind of But then when I buzz it short again, I get to put the hair comb back in the bottom drawer and not have to look at it because I don't need it. You did even when I didn't play well. First time in one of your streams, so happy I caught it. Welcome. How would I say your name? Domadeus. Domadius. Those are my two guesses. Counterpoint, sleep 50 minutes of every hour. Hunting all mogs or just what your main can equip? Against my better judgment, I am kind of hunting all mogs. I don't have very many. Well, that's not true. I actually have a lot of them. I have over half of the items in the game, which I think is impressive. But I have 52.7% of all the things. This is not counting like achievements. I don't feel a need to get each item ID. The shared appearances are good enough for me. But it is counting all transmog for all armor types, plus pets, mounts, toys. I think not titles, but I have 981 of 100,000 things. And I don't think I'm ever going to get anywhere close to full, but I can always get more. How much of the currency can I get in a single time rift? I don't know, because you're going to get some from just like killing mobs and participating. So if you tag a lot of things, you're going to get more. 2 purple yams to make chips, gave $10. Got back 20 cents. Oh, chasing all the unique item names. Yeah, they're for sure. I feel like what I'm doing is a very reasonable and tempered version of transmog collecting. I guess the reasonable tempered version is doing it just for your main, but I changed mains too much. I'm no longer tethered to any particular armor type. I'm gonna need everything. You can always get more ATT percentage until you can't. If I ever reach a day and I'm streaming and I'm like, there is nothing else for me to farm on all the things, I will at that point consider myself to have completed farming and I'll need to have a new hobby. I get into dog agility but not for the dog, for me, like I do the ramps and stuff. Or artisanal competitive muffin making. I become the muffin lady. Come on, Gil. Make him drop it. Yeah, Gil's right here. Come on, Gil. 1 mount, please. Nope. But we get to do it again. You could always start getting all the achievements. That is true. That is true. If I get all the transmog and all the pets, because I'm behind on pets. Mog is kind of a diversion because what I should be focusing on is collecting as many pets as I can, because that is something I am much closer to, not 100%ing, but 100%ing the reasonably available ones. That's always been kind of my benchmark for pets, is I'm not gonna ruin my life trying to get an old code for like a iCoke China 2009 promotion, although apparently some of those pets are gonna be like trading post. But I will, usually I do try to get all of the reasonably available ones, but I've been slacking. I have 1,619 pets, and I'm missing all kinds of stuff now. I'm missing all kinds of stuff from Dragonflight, so there's even wild pets in the caverns I don't have yet, some of the rare ones. Have I done this? Raid difficulty is now on normal, alrighty. You've got to equip Gul'dan staff. Don't become the cat lady with like 20 cats. I think 20 cats is too many for anybody that's not a cat rescue, lady or otherwise. Reasonably available, doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence. It's a very personal judgment too, which I like. I like quantifying things with qualifiers that give me little safeties, little outs for me to be like, well, I don't think that's reasonable, and then I no longer have to do it. Cool, Tish. Oh, why, thank you. It's a very movable goalpost, precisely. I like those. I like movable goalposts when I'm the only one that's allowed to move them. It's good stuff. So the green one can drop on normal, heroic, or mythic. The red one is mythic only. Neither drops in LFR as far as I'm aware. I think that LFR is not necessary for this farm. Finally got the super rare rural pet to complete the Dragonflight Safari achievement this week. Nice! Dragonflight Safari. Dragon Safari. Oh. I think it's the Zerlet Caverns ones I'm still missing. 4 mounts within 24 hours. Corcoran Juggernaut. And Tauren Charhound. Lambent Manta Ray. And Skull Ripper. Juggernaut was my first time using this skip. Holy smokes, that's lucky. Nice. It's a huge day. I love it when they rain down like that. When it all just kind of happens at once. Sometimes I think it's time for Crinkle to have a new transmog. And then I think, nah, she's perfect. I feel like this is a very Mog farming Mog, so to speak. She's got her goggles on, she's got her little green dragon wings. I don't know why those are important, but she's cute in them. While we wait for the monologue, the pointer from earlier. Basically pronounced Spangenhelm. The S isn't as sharp. Spangenhelm. Yeah, I like her big swords. I have these little flies, and they're not fruit flies. And I don't know where they've come from. They're not fungus gnats. Those usually stick closer to houseplants. Maybe it's me. What if the flies are coming from me? Kitty Cat, you would tell me if I started emitting flies, right? I know you're blind, but you would find a way to know. Is that Chaz friendly? Yeah. Midnight just dropped. Oh, congratulations. Coming to eat you. Might want to see a doctor. That's easier said than done in this province. You can see somebody if it's dire. Really? There's it's a bit of a and I'm not fully I do live here, but I'm sure I don't have all the facts, but my understanding from myself and my family and the people I know that live here is that while it's great that general healthcare is covered, good luck getting a doctor. So if you do need medical help, you need to get yourself in to see a walk-in clinic. And almost none of them actually take walk-ins anymore. So you need to find the place to get yourself a telehealth appointment. And then if you can get a doctor on the phone and explain to them what's wrong with you, then they might tell you when to go in and see them. But the whole process is no good because there's just not enough doctors right now. It's and there hasn't been for years. There's kind of a systemic problem somewhere. So my plan is just to eat vegetables and hope for the best. You know, I'm young. I probably don't need any medical care for the foreseeable future? Question mark. Yeah, I don't know. It's not great. Young-ish. Hey! Been working for me so far. Very wildly depending on province. Calgary found a family doctor within a week. Since moving back to Quebec, have been on the waiting list for nearly 2 years, will be for more years. I should get on the waiting list is what I should do. I don't know how to do that. I've heard of people being on waiting lists. I don't know how they get onto these waiting lists. Because I'm not even on a list. I should probably find the list to sign up for. I just don't know how. People tell me to do all kinds of things, and they just assume I know how, and I have no idea how. I guess I could Google it, but that sounds like a lot of work. Would like an appointment in 14 months. Don't have anything yet. Probably will. Hello, Gul'dan. Would you like to give me a pet? Does Gul'Daniel appreciate your weekly visits? It's so nice of you to visit him every week. I mean, he's fairly elderly, right? Like, he's been around for a while. I think that, I think he's probably lonely up here all by himself. He's got, like, a nice, what do you call it when you have the condo at the top of the building? Penthouse view. He's got the penthouse view up here, but doesn't seem to have anybody around. Annoyed if I have to wait 3 weeks for an appointment for a specialist. Yeah, it's not a perfect system. It is nice though, knowing that if I do need help and I do eventually get it, I'm not going to get slammed with a bill that I can't pay. I lived in the States for a while without any medical coverage at the very end, and that's the kind of anxiety that I don't care for. Anyone else gets DC'd while using the siege skip? That's no good. Have you thought maybe he doesn't want to give you the map because he's afraid of you not coming to visit anymore? Well, but I'm sure I need transmog from you on somebody. Actually, I can look. Normal Gul'dan, I need, what is that? Paladin and Demon Hunter tier pants. Paladin, Demon Hunter, Shaman, Monk, Rogue, Death Knight, and Mage. So basically all of the classes that I never run. This is why I need a character of every class. Any luck? No. I got the Infernal Contract again, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Infernal Contract, yeah, it's a trinket. We hate it. So, Crinkle's done. I'm gonna take her back. I'm gonna put her back where I found her, basically. I'm gonna send her back to the Westfall. He really wants to sell your soul. 0% chance of you coming for DH or Paladin. I mean, I do have a DH and a Paladin now, and I have them both at 70. Their gear is arguably a tiny bit worse than Crinkle's gear, so that's not great. But, you know, Mage would be harder for me, because I don't even have a Mage right now. At some point, I'll probably make one, but I currently am not possessed of a Mage or a Monk. There is catch-up. Could you please send me to the dead mines? Thank you. Hi, baby girl. She's getting real cozy in my lap. I think she's glad I'm wearing pajamas today. I'm not that I usually stream in, like, you know, crisply starched pants or anything like that, but you know, PJ pants are nice and soft. Good for cat cuddles. Not having one? That's a major problem. Do you think they'll open up Paladins to all races next? I mean, I was gonna say no, but like, why not, you know? At this point, who are we protecting? I think that the classes that are likely to get the all races treatment last, or are the least likely to get it, are the ones that need special class-specific artwork for each one. So druids and shamans, because shamans need totems and druids need forms. Unless they're willing to share other ones. There's also lore reasons, but I think we're not really too worried about lore reasons. Undead Paladin would be pretty funny. Make a no Paladin in a heartbeat. Paladins need mounts. Paladins do need mounts, that is true. But I feel like one mount is easier than... Well, I mean, I guess totems is just like one totem and you just stick different colors in it. Hope we at least get Night Elf Shamans. But yeah, I am team give everybody everything. I'm not personally all that concerned with the lore things. I do understand that other people are, and that is valid. But I'm not too concerned about whether or not it makes sense for the story. I just like having... Oh yeah, I guess Demon Hunters and Evokers are probably stuck with what they've got. One of the reasons that I waited so long to make a Demon Hunter is because I couldn't be a Gnome Demon Hunter. Need an Undead Druid. Want Mecha Gnome Demon Hunters. It's gonna be so hard to reskin another mount for Paladins, yeah. I feel like that's something they could probably handle. What would a Gnome Paladin mount look like? Let my orc learn how to grow wings already. Badak531, thank you very much for the 36-month resub. Good morning, good morning. Love gnomes too much. Alright. I have killed you 63 times. If you could give me your gloves soon. Oh dear. That would be great. Gnome Paladin called Lightbulb. A bedazzled bot. A robot chicken with lots of bulbs on it to be bright. That would be so funny if the way that goblins and gnomes use the light is just with electricity. That would be great. Daycare? Yeah. Let's go do daycare. That's a good idea. I mean, we can maybe, even if we daycare fast enough, we can maybe fit into Time Rift. I said I didn't want to, but I'm feeling less cranky now that I've had my coffee. Yeah, they do have priests, that's true. Yeah, I think the Drakthir could eventually get visage forms opened up, but I don't think you'll be able to just make like a direct gnome dragon. I don't know if I can make it back and then do the thing in 4 minutes. Maybe I should just hang out and do the rift. Ooh, a Titan Touch Bubble Poppy. Overload. Oh, I got a glowing Titan orb. I'm rich. Welcome, new haircut. Thank you. Eridar skin gonna be lock only, getting Eridar holy priests? That's actually a very good question. I do not know. I do not know. By the light of my very bright LED in the battery I carry on my back. Yeah, that would be really fun. Time rift starting soon. Any other herbs that I can pick? Oh, actually there's a mailbox over there. I could do my auctions. Isn't there a mailbox over here? Maybe people just tend to drop mailboxes over here and that's what I'm thinking of. Oh. My auction's expired. I suppose I can just let a Madam Stamp Whistle come assist me. Oh! I think I just phased. I used my 3-hour cooldown and I summoned my mailbox, and I'm pretty sure I just phased into a different shard because of the rift starting, or just because reasons. And my mailbox is it's gone. Same happened to me. Oh man, that's okay. I can do my auctions when I get back. Use the perch toy. Any Auchenbloom? Hey, look, I used some of it. Look, I've got some bag space now. Too close to her, it despawns to prevent griefing. Oh, I see. I feel like that was a reasonable distance away, but alright, alright. I get it. I guess I didn't phase then. Always messes me up. What if they just used... Okay, somebody put an Ohuna perch down here. What if somebody just, what if they just put a mailbox there then? We wouldn't need to drop mailboxes if you would just give us one right over there. And then people could use it to send their flakes around and stuff. Oh no, my shin bones expired. What do you mean? Nobody wants them. We're 15 seconds from Veldraken. Yeah, 15 seconds and like up a hill. My dragon is tired. Shout out to whoever dropped that mailbox. I appreciate it. I'm going canceling selling. What do I want to post here? Oh, I sold all my tepid verses. That's nice. Let's check like 100 of these up. And then glowing titan orb, 379 gold I get to keep. What else? Pets, pets, pets. Sometimes I get sick of posting the pets, so I just sell them really cheap. That's what happened with my Pandaren pets. There we go. Another 4 shin bones. I think I would actually sell them more quickly if I would only post 1 at a time, because currently, is it? No, almost. Currently people will see 4 and be like, oh, that's way too much supply. I'm not going to mess with this. Whereas if you put just 1, people will be like, oh, this is a 6 snipe. What would mail deliver there though? Because all of these people live here, and they would probably like to write to their friends and families that they're never going to get to see again because they have to come sit here and sell me little dinosaurs. You know, what about their partners and their children and their cats they've left behind? Begin time rift. Find and slay the slayer, you betcha. Alright, I'll get right on that. Need to clean my bag set, so much D. Oh. The slayer's gone. I must not have slayed it fast enough. Defeat Olberoth. There we go. Hi. What are you gonna get up to today? You got big plans for the day? Dinosaurs, dinosaurs. It's hard to help when things die so fast, you know? Important agreement. Do you ever have a secret? And it's like a very innocent secret. It's a secret that like nobody would care about and it doesn't hurt anybody and it wouldn't really upset anybody. But you keep it a secret just so that you have a secret. I'm not telling. Good answer. Wish the time rift would grant XP. That would be kind of cool. I loved in the end of Legion how Legion invasions were kind of dual-purposed to be this really fast alt-leveling catch-up. And I'm hoping that in the end, the final patch in the final season of Dragonflight, they have something like that. Like, Time Walking kind of fills that purpose, especially if there's, like, an experience buff up. But, you know, I might have more characters that need to go 60 to 70, and doing it at, like, you know, launch speed is a little bit of a downer. Pristine crystal flies eliminated. Oh, these ones, okay. Doesn't have to be much, but a little would be nice. You can do them on a sub 72? Okay. Isn't there going to be a 75% buff in the near future? Is there? I hadn't heard anything of it. I know we had the 50% buff for Winds of Sanctuary. 75 sounds like a lot. If that's true, that's crazy. Anniversary is coming in, what, the fall? That's usually like November-ish, right? And, actually, I'm making that up. I have no idea when the anniversary is. 25% bonus possible in a specific zone. Oh. I'm out of the loop. I'm behind. I didn't know about this. November 23rd is the actual anniversary. Okay. I forget what number we're up to now, but the experience buff, well, it used to be just like a kind of a cute commemorative thing, is now getting, every year, it gets more and more, not away from itself, but more and more, I'm looking for Fellwatcher, Mara, and you appear to be not the Fellwatcher. Oh, there you are. She doesn't really seem upset by that at all. If, like, Dark Hazel popped out of a portal... Oh, maybe she's a little grumpy. I was gonna say, if Dark Hazel popped out of a portal and she was, like, half melted away with Fel energy, and she was attempting to murder people in the immediate vicinity, I would have some concerns. Dream Surges works like the buildings in the Broken Shore. Oh. Alderoth Plains. Okay. Nice. She would have her reasons. Serve Necrol, which is a fell werebear. Terrifying to me to even see Kroll's name. What do you mean? Wasn't that just beautiful memories of a really fun, relaxing, lovely time in all of our lives? No trauma. Only fondness. I'm glad I did them while they were current, but it's hard to deny that if I had procrastinated, it probably wouldn't have scarred me so much. Man, sharing a birthday with WoW's birthday is kind of cool. You'd always remember it. If my birthday was on the 23rd, I would assume every year when Blizzard does the anniversary event that they're doing it for me personally. Happy birthday, Hazel. Have an experience buff. Yeah, the Mage Tower. Oh, mammoth. See if I can not die this time. Bookmap to remind me every time. Stress and anxiety. I have Kroll trauma, 410 attempts to get the Fellbear. I don't remember what my attempt count was, but it was more than I would have liked. It was longer than I had in mind. Oh dear. The bear. Yeah, it wasn't as bad as the Shadow Priest one. Twins really changed me as a person. And the healer one was also a pretty big deal. Those are the two that I think stick out in my mind as the hardest ones for me, but the bear definitely, the bear was the last one that I did. Destroy fell pilots, okay. Yeah, no, nothing's as bad as the priest one. The best thing I can say about the priest one is because I did it first and I insisted on struggling through it on Shadow Priest, every single Mage Tower challenge that I did after that seemed not so bad by comparison. I set my initial mental bar really high, when I finished the Shadow Priest challenge, I wasn't sure I was going to get my book mount because I thought, I can't do 6 more of those. There's no way. But it turned out the Shadow one was like twice as hard as the rest of them. Maybe not twice, but more. More hard. Last one I did was Rep Pelly. Kept standing in the middle of the Velks. Camera angle, always hard to judge the gap. Yeah, that one's rude. That one was hard. Oh, more plants. What do I want? I haven't had any rifts drop me pets or mounts yet. I've gotten transmog drops from them, and I've gotten like the regular 402 veteran gear drops, but I have yet for it to give me any pets or mounts. I would like one. I don't know if I can let you go to a gym to lift. You would just try and deadlift 500 kilograms forever. I can't pick it up. This is too hard. I don't know how anybody does this. Quits, goes home. Or doesn't quit, just stays there indefinitely. Just gotten Ruby. Oh, nice. Oh, I hope Sirius feels better soon. Comforting coming here to watch you and Kira. I'm glad he's home. Guaranteed mount when you're 4 or 5 with a rep. Yeah, I want one to drop for me. I want the game to bestow a pet upon me and say, here you go. You know, this is for you. Have fun. Happy birthday year. I have been resisting the urge to buy any of the pets though, because I know that I will get one for 4 or 5, and or mounts rather. Although, don't you get to choose between a mount or a pet? Oh, you leaving? See you later, honey bun. Yeah. Oh, I'm supposed to yank it. I see. I guess I did buy one pet. I needed to. It's my good luck charm. The pets are really cute. I like the little dire horn. The little dinosaur is very, very precious. Alright, timer of time. Already? Only 5 minutes left to go. I got to one of these a little bit late, and I made it in, and I was just a little tiny bit too late to tag the boss. It was a little heartbreaking. I understand the pain. I'm glad that I have nice short loading screens, so at least I can get in and do it. That's the NR1's triggering. Yeah, I still think the Lich King's my least favorite one because it's so dangerous, but this is not a place that I mean, it's a beautiful place. This is a lovely room. You know, I love the plants, but... Oh. I finished the Mistborn trilogy. I'm still deciding what I'm gonna read next. I downloaded a random sample of another fantasy book that I'd never heard of that sounded kind of intriguing, and I figure maybe I'll read it and then decide if I like it. Several early that just filled up, wouldn't let a lot of us in. Lich King is death on wheels. What this place would be practically used for before demons invaded? I want to say some kind of aerobics class. You ever see those like videos of step workouts where they have like a little bench that you step up to and down from and up to and down from? I feel like or like, you know, people going around the mall doing the stairs a bunch of times. I feel like that would be, this would be good for that. Did you like the ending? Yeah, I think it was a good ending, which is more than you can say for, and it was unending, which is more than you can say for some series. Not looking at anybody in particular. Delint, we're brushed again for the books. It's like when people run up and down the steps in a stadium. Yeah. Precisely. I get anything? Just some flakes. Just some flakes. But it's a good chance for me to ride my big slick in the city. Shadow What Was Lost? Fantasy Trilogy? Oh. Aggressively enforced public health. Alrighty. No! I mean, I guess maybe in the boxes. I swear I got like an item to drop from the Epic box once. I have 7,500 flakes, and I actually have more on other characters that I can mail over. I'm pretty sure... Oh, no, because I bought something on my gnome. That's right. But I think I have more on other characters I can mail over. But, you know, for what, right? You just wait until the stuff drops. Returning to WoW after 2 years? What would you say are some of the first things to do? It's a long time. There's a lot of things to do. It's hard to give specific pointers beyond just following the quests that are marked as important quests to unlock the main features. I got a pet from the box once. I don't know if you can get a map from the boxes. I'm assuming that you can, but that it's just a low chance. I don't know that for sure, though. Trinket, something else to drop from a purple box. Level to 70, let the professionals take over from here. Yeah, it's one of those times in the game where there's so many different things you can do that it's difficult to give somebody like a very specific pointer beyond just do the new content, which I know isn't very helpful. So that's the regular daily. And then over here, there's what's happening. I'm scared. I have fear. Start the race and complete it. Oh, dear Lord. I'm not. What does this one do? That one's my break. That one restores all vigor, but I must be on the ground. I just have to complete this race. This is so cute. That's the flying ones. I see. I never saw this on PTR. I managed to get Rusiona on PTR without ever doing this. Woo! My baby's all grown up. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. She should be wearing a helmet for this. And, you know, knee pads and elbow pads for her little tiny dragon knees and elbows. This is just kind of making me want to go into BRD and farm monk. I need appearances in there still. Each of them fly differently. Like a Mario Kart track. I'm afraid to use any buttons but the forward button. True in games getting Ponzo's hat. At least with full Niffin rep, with full Niffin rep, getting Ponzo's hat, anything that gives, oh, for heaven's sake, anything that gives, uh-oh. I fell. Dragonelle supplies will work towards that. I need to try that again. I'm pretty sure, yep. Oops. Wasn't paying enough attention. I think that one's not too hard. I was trying to do too much. Okay. Yeah, it seems like you can't really get off the ground once you've fallen, so you just have to not fall. You can restore your vigor on the ground, which is kind of strange. But I didn't see a good way to get up. Cancel and restart the race. I'm just gonna take this real easy. Because you don't have to be super fast. You just have to not stop for so long that they time you out. If anything, being super fast seems like a bit of a risk because then it makes it harder to— No! No! Oh, you can just spacebar. You can just jump. I am the silly gosling kitty cat. Can I help you? Oh, I don't steer very good. Whoa. Whoa. Up you get. Back around. Have at it. You can do it. I guess it makes sense that whelps wouldn't be necessarily as agile at these as a full-grown dragon would be. Rizzy, I don't think you should be going this fast. You need some training wheels. Everything's gonna be okay. Whoa, 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 whoa! Okay. This is something— don't blame the whelp. True. Gonna buy the hat from Dragon Supplies eventually. Yeah, that's kind of where I feel like I'm at. What is this race? Fireworks. Something to do with the whelp daycare. I preferred when I was buying them cheese. I'm gonna do that next. Wait, there's more. Why? I did it for the day. What do you mean? Oh no. Is this a different race? Practice makes perfect. Oh dear. All right. I can't tell if it's a different race or not. What do I get for doing this over and over again? I got 5 flight stones last time. And I don't mean to be miserly, but I don't think that was worth it. It's repeatable. I don't think you get anything. Oh. Oh. It's just a daily quest. Because I'm not getting any better at this, clearly. Get the reward only once. The reward of 14 gold and 5 flight stones! Whoa! She does not turn corners very sharp. Or maybe it's me. Maybe I don't turn corners very sharp. Alright. Yeah, you're right. I'm not going to get anything for this. I should probably just abandon it. But, you know, where's the fun in that? 2 aquatic battle stones today? Oh. I want to say my pets are all leveled, but I've been just like stocking up the battle stones. I would send them to my mains bank, but my mains bank is kind of full. There's like some flowers in it or something? I don't know. Oh, still silver. Oh man, I was actually really close to a gold time that last one. Not that I need a gold time. Just stream the race for 2 hours. I might get motion sick after a little while. Okay, we don't talk to that because it is repeatable, and also it auto starts because of, I think, Leatrix. We're not going to worry about that. I am going to get them some... Well, you don't really need to do this, do you? Well, they're hungry. The babies need their cheese. Hang on. This is really making it difficult for me to go visit Gul'dan. I've only seen him on 1 character so far today. I like to assume that leap maize crackers are kind of like arrowroot crackers. Animal crackers, you know? I don't actually know where I'm going. Oh, there I'm going. Cheese tax. Cheese is important. How were you only 2 seconds off? I know, right? I don't feel like I did that very well. I missed one and I had to turn around and go back for it. Maybe the timers are more forgiving. Okay. Duck and cheese whelp diet. Listen, they need high levels of fat so that they can build big, strong dragon bodies. You got to get that calorie density going. Here is your cheese. It seems like they also have some fruit and potentially pie. I also spy bread. But yeah, it seems like they do a lot of cheese and crackers. And duck. Alright, here you go. So, whelp daycare's done for the day. Let's go visit our bud. Whelp Tinder title is so cute. Hazel, do you buy the chunks of sliced watermelon or do you try and fit a whole watermelon in your fridge? I do neither. I, on occasion, will buy sliced watermelon or like chunks of it that are frozen to put into smoothies. But I don't really like watermelon enough to pay money for it. It's nice, but it's not... I would rather get almost any other fruit. There we go. They probably don't have human digestion. Who just got the real questions today? Hazel, come dance at the age dance party. I do want to. You know what's getting me about the thing that I removed is I can't see what it's supposed to be. I timed it out because we generally don't do that kind of thing in general. But maybe it's just the way it's formatted. Maybe if I like expand my chat window. No, cannot tell what that's supposed to be. Oh, there it is. Never mind, I found it. It got formatted really weirdly in my chat window size, and I'm like, is it supposed to be two birds dancing? I don't get it. Yeah, no, I found it. Oh dear. Yeah, I probably would have gone for the perma instead of the timeout if I'd known what it was. Bring your drac there. We've got a stage dance now. But Gul'dan, I do want to party. It is Saturday, and I do want to party. That's what you get for not liking watermelon, apparently. I feel like I missed something exciting. We had a picture of some male equipment in our chat. I don't want to say it was exciting, but we're pretty boring around here. It doesn't happen very often. I've gone the wrong way. We're turning around. We're going the other way. Yeah, like a mailbox, precisely. You get it. Those saddlebags that the mail people wear when they're trekking all over town with their calves of steel delivering people's parcels. Wait, what? You never seen? I guess it depends on how mail carriers work in your particular country, but in the places that I've lived, usually there will be like a mail van that they drive around, but they'll park it and then they'll get out with like all of the mail in big bags and they'll just kind of trek around to each individual home. My hunter has mail equipment. Hello again. Ticket the mount didn't drop? Not yet. Not yet. We're gonna try again. Crank it up to mythic. Go see on my main. We'll bring Gul'dan with us. Pardon me. Did you just say how they deliver your parcel? Yeah. What's wrong with that? Am I making innuendos that I don't mean to again? Tiny electric scooter looking thing. Oh, Dublin. They have cargo bikes. Oh. Oh, sounds like a euphemism for sure. It's too... I know it's like not that early, but it's too early for this in that context. I feel like in my early to mid 20s when I played WoW, half of guild chat or like voice chat in Raid was just people making dirty jokes. That was like the pinnacle of humor and conversation at the time. And it was not hard to get a conversation in around it, but it was definitely a bigger focus than I feel like it is now. What attempt number is this? I wish I knew. My add-on's been mostly off and or working intermittently, so I know it's more than 140. I would guess we're somewhere near 200. I think we've been at this a lot longer than it's been tracking. We all got older. I guess so, yeah. Hope everyone enjoys the rest of their Saturday. Have to go out, get my yard mowed. Have a fun time mowing. Or getting it mowed. Overseeing the mowage. When I lived in Canada, Canada Post was not very good. Is it better now? I think so. I guess it depends. I don't know. I like it. Seems to work. I'm never in a hurry to receive mail, though. I will say that in the winter time, I sent out Christmas cards, and they were wildly late. But there was also extraordinary weather conditions, so I don't really blame them. There was like unprecedented amounts of ice and snow and stuff. And I know it's like Christmas time, but this city doesn't usually get weather like that, so it was a bit wild. Much bigger fan of AN Post, Irish Post Office, than I ever was of USPS. I kind of had a soft spot for the USPS. I would go to the post office for my PO box when I had one, and also just to send mail, pick stuff up. And I would get I would buy stamps online from them because I used them to send out, back when I used to send out little signed postcards as Patreon rewards, I would have to buy stamps in bulk to do that. And everybody I ever interacted with from the post office seemed like they were kind of overworked and underpaid, but also really trying their best. I liked it there. It wasn't always, you had to pick the right time to go, and it wasn't always the best, but I always felt like as long as I, you know, had my life in order, it was kind of nice. I appreciated them. Yeah, it's not their fault. What did you send out back then? I used to draw a different piece of art. Well, when I first got on Patreon, for every new supporter at a certain tier, I would draw them a specific request commission. And then I would print it, and I would sign it, and I would mail it to them. And then there was also like a general one. I would draw one new picture every month, and then everybody would get that one. Eventually, I think it can't possibly be the case. I think originally I might have done a new commission for people each month. Like they might have gotten a new request every single month for each person, and that got out of hand in a hurry. So then I made it so you get one when you sign up and then the general one. And then I stopped doing the specifics because I got way behind on them and it was ruining my life. And then I just did the one picture a month, and eventually I no longer mail anything out at all anymore. But yeah, I used to do big mail outs. I would sign all of them and print all of them and pack them all up, and I would print all these special stickers and stuff. Hi. It's fun, but it took too much time. It would take basically 2 full work days from every month, which when compared against the Patreon was a really big part of how I afforded to get started in content creation. So it certainly was a worthwhile use of time against what it got me. But compared to the amount of time I started spending making videos, it got kind of out of hand, and it was a bit of a relief when I was able to retire that program, just because it was taking more for me than I had to give. I also didn't really enjoy drawing as much as I thought I would when I first started to learn how to draw. I had this like utopian vision that it would be like a fun, creative, fulfilling thing for me, and as it turned out, it was none of those things. I did not enjoy that process very much. Gul'dan, I would like 1 mount, please. Hello, welcome back. As a wannabe artist since the age of 10, I feel that. I think that if it had been less on a schedule and more original stuff and not WoW fan art, maybe I would have enjoyed it differently. But I got to a point where they would come out with like new pets or something, and there'd be something cute, and I would immediately feel like dread in the pit of my stomach, because I was like, I'm probably gonna end up drawing that for the wallpaper or for the art this month. So I'm gonna, this is a really cute thing with a cute little funny feature over here, but I'm gonna have to figure out how to make that look not very good, but like okay. And it was making me like not enjoy new WoW patches, because I was like, oh geez, I'm gonna have to draw that. Could you request anything? I mean, I had a rule where I wouldn't draw like pornography, but I think yeah, it wasn't always WoW stuff. I did people's pets. I'm pretty sure my favorite one that I did was for somebody who's actually still a guildie of mine, and it was Pajamather, and it was, I don't think it was like an original, like I forget who it was like a Heroes of the Storm character but in pajamas, and I gave him he had like a bunch of arms. It was like a big worm thing, but I gave him little cloud print PJs. Finally got my KSM season 2. Congratulations, Spectral. I'm gonna try this again in a different difficulty. Call myself an artist based on my work being published. Hey, it counts. I'm technically, if we're playing that game, which I do like to play that game, technically a published poet, because when I was 10, I wrote a poem for a contest, and I won the contest, and they put my poem in the collection of poems books. I was real proud of that. I won't be any more specific, but I'm technically published. Should add that to your Twitter bio. I don't want people to actually find it because that's like a really weird, archaic way to dox yourself. But I think it's safe to say that I wrote a poem once and it ended up in a book. It counts. Technically published author. Raid difficulty, dungeon difficulty. When I was a little kid, I went through a variety of different, like dream careers. Like when I was a little kid, I think I wanted to be an actor because I could see them on the screen and I was like, that's a job. And it looked like more fun than working at the grocery store, which was the other job that I could see. And then I decided I didn't want to be an actor because I did one drama class and I was like, I'm shy. I don't want to talk in front of people. Ironic. But I quit. I gave up on the acting dream. And then I was like, well, what if I become a massage therapist? Because, you give like little massage, like shoulder massages to your family and back massages to your family and stuff. And everyone said they liked mine the best. So I was like, this is my calling. I'm going to be a masseuse. And then I decided I didn't want to I realized I was going to have to touch strangers. And I didn't want to do that. So after the massage therapist dream, which ironically later became something that my mom went into, but after the massage therapist dream, I guess that's not ironic, that's just a coincidence. What was next after that? I think at some point I wanted to be a fantasy author because I read a lot of books and I was like, ooh, people write these. And you would write stories for like school and stuff. And I got really into it. And I was like, I'm going to be an author. And I forget why I gave up on that. Maybe it was because I got too into band. I decided I was going to be a professional trumpet player. I was going to be the next Chris Bodie. I am not the next Chris Bodie, but I thought I was when I was 15. And then I never went back to the book thing. But child me was extremely happy to have gotten that poem in that book because I was like, it's true. I'm gifted. Not so much. Actor one's interesting because you've made it as an entertainer now. I'd say you weren't far off. It's strange because this is a career that I used to have a lot of anxiety as a kid about what on earth I was going to do for a living because I didn't have like I didn't really do work experience as a teenager or even as a kid the way people do. Like I would do chores and I would help out with my family, but other kids would make like some pocket money mowing lawns and babysitting, and I was too socially shy for that. And then, we became teenagers and other kids would get jobs in restaurants and fast food chains and whatever. And I didn't do that either because I couldn't drive, so I couldn't get to anywhere. And I lived somewhere really rural, so there wasn't a whole lot of places I could reasonably make it to a job. And also, again, I was shy. And I was like, well, I'm just going to focus on school. And I was this whole time really anxious because I was like, I don't know how I'm ever going to, it seemed like not having this experience. I was very worried about my resume. I couldn't imagine anything that I would possibly do. And I couldn't figure out how on earth I was ever going to get a job because I figured I would die if I ever tried to do a job interview. And strangely enough, the job that I've been doing for the last 10 years as an adult didn't exist back then. It wasn't really a thing. There were things that were kind of sort of similar that I never really considered, but this was not a thing then. For years, as a small child, I would tell people who asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up that I wanted to be a paleontologist. I was that kid. That kid was great. I think my sister had a phase of wanting to be a marine biologist because she liked dolphins. Which is as good a reason to get into it as any. Yeah, this dungeon's really pretty. Everyone does, even those that start working early. Disorienting to feel like you're not doing what everyone else is doing. It was just like when you're young and you've never done something and you can't see how on earth you're ever going to get to do it. It just seems like there's this panic of like, holy, like there's no way. I also, when I was young, used to think that I couldn't possibly understand how people could like fall in love and get married. And I thought, and mind you, I was 11, but I was like, I'm going to be alone forever. Nobody's ever going to like me. I will never, ever, have like a partner or get married or any of these things because that's too hard and too scary and I don't know how to do it and no one's ever going to like me, which I think is a fairly common thought to have when you're young. But, your friends have like their middle school girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, and you don't, and you're like, oh, I'm unlovable. And sometimes that sticks with you a little longer than you want it to. Turns out you just have to hold your nose, dive in, try your best. But yeah, maybe that's what I didn't like about being young, is that I hadn't done anything yet, so I didn't know any of it was possible. Been there, done that with the marriage thing. Sometimes you grow up and you try things and you find out that that maybe that maybe life isn't exactly like sitcoms. I'm pretty sure I knew everything that I knew about relationships and dating from watching Friends and maybe Julia Roberts rom-coms. I think, and then I guess like my parents, but yeah, not exactly the best education. The laugh tracks in my head. Most disappointing 11 years of my life, middle school. Middle school sticks with you for too long. Oh, pressure to find a partner is a whole other thing, my goodness. And people tell you too, like you're, you know, a teenager or like a young adult or even like a kid, and you're like, I'm gonna be alone, because that's kind of the conditioning that you get from all of, you know, everything. And older people will be like, listen, it's not such a big deal. You got a lot going for you. You've got so much ahead of you in your life. You get this very good, well-balanced advice all the time, and you don't listen to it because it doesn't mean anything to you at that age. You're too caught, or at least I was too caught up in like the soup of my feelings. And it seemed vital that that I, you know, if everybody else can fall in love, then what's wrong with me? Well, that's not amount. Read so many fantasy romance books as a teen, mostly the vampire ones. I hope Pretty Woman wasn't a formative one. Runaway Bride, Big Fat Greek Wedding, Chicago. Trying to think of the movies that I watched as a kid with my family. I guess Chicago's not a rom-com. Difficulty. My favorites. Youth wasted on the young. Yeah. You kind of gotta live your life and make your choices though to learn anything. I think that if I hadn't had the relationships that I had in my younger years, I wouldn't be the same person I am now. Just because something doesn't last forever doesn't mean it wasn't worth it. Rate difficulty, normal. Reset all instances. You don't really need to, but I do it out of habit, I suppose. Little Mermaid's kind of a rom-com. Miss Congeniality, oh, classic. Sound of Music, Calamity Jane, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. Chicago was just all marriages and an occasional murder. Girls Get Away with It. Yeah, there was not a whole lot of ethical behavior in Chicago. I don't think that was the point of the movie. Slammin' soundtrack, though. Let you know if I figure that one out, though. Miss Congeniality does not hold up. I loved Miss Congeniality as a young person, and I rewatched it as an adult recently, and don't get me wrong, I still like the movie because but I was gasping at the things that these people were doing and saying. It was a different time that I cannot believe was so recently, you know? I think that there's, you know, society's not done evolving yet, but holy moly, that was a different time. Miss Congeniality was Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock as a police officer entering a beauty pageant. I think I may have watched Chicago 100 times. The music captivated me. I may have had a crush on Catherine Zeta-Jones. She played, again, not Renee Zellweger, although I liked her as well. I don't think anyone can deny that Catherine Zeta-Jones looked really good in that movie. Ellis Hunt. Yeah. My bags are kind of filling up. I can't imagine why. Thinking of Mean Girls. Also an excellent movie. I actually have never watched Pretty in Pink. Played a character bold and confident. Yeah, I think that might have been it. Lindsay Lohan, Freaky Friday. I watched that in theaters. I saw probably 3 movies in theaters as a young person, and one of them was Freaky Friday. I almost never went to the movies because we didn't have a theater in my town. If you wanted to go see a movie in theaters, you were driving a ways, and like no one was doing that. So there were not very many occasions in which I would go see a movie in theaters. I think one of the Harry Potter films, I think the 3rd one, when it was new in theaters, I saw Freaky Friday. And then I think there was one more. At least until I was like a teenager. Like once I was like 16, I think I would go into town with my friends. Maybe that was later than 16 actually. That might have been like 18. I believe you, but I'm also appalled. To unlock the skip and night hold, you need to pick up the quest from inside the instance and then complete it 4 times on your chosen difficulty, ideally mythic, because that will unlock the skips for difficulties below that. Have you ever seen Ghost World? I have not. We're all Canadian upbringing. I mean, I'm sure most places don't have a movie theater. It's not something that like every town, city, suburb has. There was one that wasn't crazy far away, but nobody liked that one. It was stinky. No one wanted to go there. I'm going to go see Gul'dan. That's right. Buffy, too. I didn't see Buffy either. I heard good things about Buffy, but I didn't see that. Think you might like it? Is Gul'dan out? Let's double check. There he is. All right. Go get you, Gul'dan. Did you know this cat's still here? He's role-playing. I can show you kitty cat. You gotta watch the Buffy show one day. Notably a TV show to watch, not a book to read. I see. Maybe one day. I'm not like quitting TV shows forever. I'm just for the current and foreseeable future. Until I feel as though I'm missing out more than I am gaining. Star Trek, Star Wars when you were younger. No, I saw them when I was older and I don't think it was the same. I've never been a super big sci-fi person. I've always preferred fantasy to sci-fi. And by the time I got around to watching Star Wars, I'd already kind of made up my mind about it, which was not very fair, but it's cool, but I don't think I saw it at the right point in my life. It's the Hazel Stream luck. My inventory's filled with things. It is. I need to make some more stuff. I think I might be able to do a batch of Traversa files. Speaking of Star Wars, Apple might buy Disney. Are they allowed to do that? I mean, I'm sure they have the money to do that. Aren't there like anti-monopoly rules? Ayla, thank you for the 7-month resub. Also, Tildo03, I missed your brand new your brand new sub. It was a few minutes ago. I'm so sorry. Technically, yes. Tessa Elizabeth, thank you for the 27-month resub. Apple bigger than Disney. I guess I don't know technically, but if I had to guess, I feel like Apple has more money. Maybe that's just my having worked in tech sales bias. But my instinct is that Apple has a lot of money. You have heard MS wants to buy ABK. Yeah, I'm just thinking in terms of streaming services. I don't think that Apple buying Disney would be as bad as Netflix buying Disney or vice versa, but I do think it's kind of getting close to that territory. No mount there. All right, we go back. right before the mail equipment picture. I cannot compete with that. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, man. Well, I'm glad you're still here. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's all bad. Nobody will do anything about it. I have things to vendor. Look at all of this stuff. I wish that Gul'dan would give me the mount so I could go back to farming for my Schwangenhelm. I have 2 more male leather-wearing characters that I could run through 10-man ICC to see if they can get it. Oh, don't vendor your molten heart. What time is it? It's only quarter after 10. I want to get up, but I don't want to disturb this cat. Your hair is so cute. Why, thank you. Yeah, it is leather, so I would need to take Barnacles and Ripsy through, because I've already tried it on Evaleria and Petal Bloom. Oh, and Nightflame could probably try for it too, because I don't think it's class specific. I think it's just a leather helmet. Okay, so I have tried on this one and this one. Speaking of Evaleria, she could stand to go do Nighthold. Yeah, it's Saturday. We visit Gul'dan on Saturday. My second monitor just died. It was so old that I had a compact flash slot. Oh! Is it time to upgrade? What helmet? I had, pardon me, all the things, I did slash all the things random, and it told me, Hazel, it is your destiny. You must farm Svalna's Spangenhelm from 10-man normal Ice Crown Citadel. And I've taken this very seriously. Anyway. We're gonna get up and take a short break. One sec. What? Man, that cat really does not stick around when I get up. Did you check to see if the same appearance drops in 25? No. I guess I haven't decided if that's against the rules of my game or not. She is shy. I think my MacBook's on its last leg. Time to save up for an iPad Pro. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Mid-2015 model. Yeah, not to shill for extremely rich companies or anything, but the M1, the Apple Silicon MacBooks, they do some good work. I have one, and it's wild how strong the graphics performance is. I was running WoW on it 2 summers ago, and I couldn't, like, it didn't even spin up the fans, and it was running at like a higher than 1080 resolution on a laptop. And compared to the performance on the previous laptop that I had, I couldn't believe that. I edit on it sometimes too if I need to edit away from home, and it's just kind of unreal. They're stupid expensive, but no, there is no but. They are stupid expensive. I potted up my peace lily because it was getting thirsty too quickly. You can see it's yellowing a couple leaves. It was draining the small pot like immediately, so I've given it more room, so hopefully it can stay a little wetter because it does not like to be dry. And then I think my fern's failing out too. Alright. Am I at Nighthold yet? Have I gone somewhere good? Yeah, we're basically almost there. Don't mind Brol. That's my bodyguard from Legion, because remember when they gave us bodyguards? I was extremely excited about that at the time. I don't know what I thought it was going to be, but I was like, I'm never going to be alone. I will always have help, even when I want to play by myself. They're not really all that helpful. Bonsai trees need a lot of water. Bonsai trees are something that I don't personally have, because when I did research into it, because they do look super cool, when I did research into it, doing it properly seemed like a lot of maintenance and a lot of work, and also they need to be, generally speaking, largely kept outside. Trees prefer being outdoors and not indoors so much. But yeah, I think from what I remember, daily care was important for them. I'm sure the exact amounts depend on like the type of tree and stuff, but I ended up looking into it and then noping right out of it. Took me a while to work out the bodyguard was an NPC and why he wasn't answering me. Meatball's awesome. Screen has only 100 pixels, but it works. Is preservation good in PvP? Yeah, you see him around. I mostly, they mostly annoy me because I usually PvP on this character. Speaking of which, did it fix itself? Nope, my solo rating's still gone. That's weird. I don't know how that happened. Did we start a new season and no one told me about it or what? But, yeah, they have Nullifying Shroud. That's a dungeon, that's wrong. They have Nullifying Shroud. And when they have Nullifying Shroud up, I can't cyclone them. Bonsai trees, really, the gnomes of trees. Made good gold from those bodyguards, though. Kitty got her stitches out. They were purple. Raid difficulty. Let's start on Mythic. Gul'dan, if you could just drop this thingy for me, then we can all be happier people. Well, nah, that's not true. I'm pretty happy. 11 Nightborn Druid. You can just picture the amount of astral design in their fonts. We need to put Gul'dan on the bar. We can't do this without him. Here, give him a little floating button so I can remember to summon him. I think at some point, and I don't know when I'm going to do this, but at some point I'm going to designate one character of each armor type as the Mog running character. I will also want characters of each class to get different tier, but designate one character of each armor type and then set up at least a cursory speed set for them so that I can farm these things more effectively. I think it's going to mean a 5th druid because this one's my PvP druid. Because I need one at 61, and I don't want to use the troll druid I'm leveling because she's for PvE keys. I'm gonna need another druid. Maybe that'll be my Worgen druid. Maybe I'll get a Worgen speed set druid for farming leather mog out of instances, and that way I'll finally level up a Worgen. Why 61? It's something to do with the speed set requirements. I want to say something to do with Azurite gear. I don't know the details and the specifics, but I do know that it would need to be 61. Worgen speed druid. High Mountain is faster, but I have a High Mountain turn already, and I need Worgen heritage. Worgen or Zandalari troll for speed druid. But Dark Flight. What's wrong with what's? Oh, I see. Worgen or Zanda troll. Okay. Have you seen the Druid of the Flame armor set coming in 10.17? I don't think that I have. Is it cool? Pretty excited for Undead Night Elf Heritage. Yeah. So say I do Worgen speed set Druid for leather. Alliance, maybe Alliance would be the Warlock? Because I don't really need the Warlock to be level 70. I could make my Eridar Warlock. I could do a, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be, like the speediest, but I could do like a Draenei Eridar Warlock. Don't think Dark Flight works in buildings? Really? I thought it was just a sprint. I guess I don't play enough Worgen side. I wouldn't know. You'd probably play more Worgen than I do. Could we be confusing it with Running Wild, perhaps? It does work in buildings. Smelly Stewart uses the speed buff. I want a character like Smelly Stewart. Besides, I don't think I need these characters to be like the fastest humanly possible. I just want them to be faster than running these raids and dungeons on my random existing characters. Not the only one making a Draenei Warlock just for the Ardor skin. Nah, I'm gonna be right there with you. Running old raids, my priest feels so slow. I do a lot of Mog runs with my Worgen. He's a real Worgen grinder. Knowing you, this is a pun of some sort. I think I don't get it. Am I just too young and innocent for this, or what? Race changing to elf for the red skin. Flame symbols. Hazel, I was disappointed to find out. All the dragon riding purses I was collecting had money in them. Were not actually purses for my dwarf warrior. Pun on organ grinder. That was my first thought, but what is an organ grinder? Is it like for making sausages? Is it a musician? Is there a third thing that is unrelated to sausages or music? My Worgen is a philanthropist. He's a Worgen donor. That I get. It is a musician. Okay. So nothing to do with sausages. They turn a crank into an organ. Oh. Guy who repos artificial organs. I see we have another genetic opera fan. And if we don't, then you must simply watch Repo the Genetic Opera because it's been made for you. I like my trans spot. Maybe I should hide the helmet. I'm pretty sure she's also got a shirt on underneath this. And that's no good. She needs to show her belly button to the world to prove that she has one. There's another Repo Man film about the same concept. But I like that one. I don't want another one. If it doesn't have Zydrate anatomy in it, then what's the point? Shaman has a wolf form. Pretty nice for nets. Nope. Okie dokie. Back at it again. Do I not have rarity on? I do have rarity on. I don't know why it's not taking up my attempts. Couldn't tell you. We tried. Just let us mountain raids. Rarity's not counting things the last week or two either. Yeah. Is that the last real mythic only phase? Legion? No, I swear they must have done them in some other expansion. Mythic only phases. I mean, there's Kill Jaden, but I think that was also Legion. Actually, I don't know. Instance memory is gone from me. Raid difficulty heroic. N'Zoth had a mythic only, the side room. Jaina? Yeah. The jailer has one? Oh yeah, I forgot about the jailer, because I never did it, because it hasn't been long enough for me to have done it yet. That's right. Jailer and Janathrius? Yeah. Yeah, see, there's lots of them. Gul'dan. Gul'dan. I'm a really big fan. You're the man. One mount, please. Hazel 2023. Did it. Still don't remember his mythic only phase. We might have to do mount runs continued tomorrow. I'm not getting through my attempts very quickly. Although if tomorrow really does have a fresh character reset, then that could take a while too. When do we get Gul'dan haikus? I'd have to start syllable counting. Haikus had so many rules. I didn't like them because it felt like the whole point was just to make it fit the rules, and that people didn't, you know, there's a lot of haikus that were technically haikus, but they didn't really inspire me. No mount, surely an illusion. Did you change your hair because you were looking too much like Auctioneer Expertira? You got me. Oh, that's a Boomkin talent or something that I did not know that I had. I thought I thought that's a cool pet that I didn't know I summoned. Yeah, I don't remember much about Rag Firelands. Kitty cat, you want to come back in here? I thought I saw you. You are welcome. Nope, going back to bed. Just got a good idea. Most writing of any format. That's true, but I feel like with poetry, the thing that I desire from poetry is for it to make me feel something, because otherwise it's just words with too many rules. Which I guess is fun if you like rules for the sake of rules, you know? Maybe you're like a lawyer. Best way to start collecting all the things, unsure how and where to start. I would start by getting your add-ons. So, and then your second thing would be deciding what does all the things mean to you. So the add-ons that I use are all the things and can I mog it? Those are the two big important ones. There are others that you can get into, but those are the main two that I use are all the things and can I mog it? And then decide, do you want to collect all the things that you can use on your main character? Do you want to collect all the things ever? Are you counting quests and achievements and flight paths and fairies? Or do you just want transmog and mounts and pets? Figure out what it is that you want, because you can, in the all the things settings window, you know, opt into or out of any number of different things. You can choose if you want to collect each individual item or if shared appearances are good enough for you. And then, at that point, you've got your window and you can just really say, wow, look, I have only 28 of 45 possible items that I could have in Sethic Halls. I should go kill normal Darkweaver Sith and see if it wants to drop me some Moonstrider boots. Etc, etc, etc. Repeat 100,000 times. A language lawyer. Seems like you like rules. I'm a inconsistent hypocrite. I like rules when they're my idea. No, that's not true. Sometimes rules are nice because I like understanding the boundaries within which an activity is defined. I feel like absence of all rules is too much anarchy and chaos for my brain, and it just causes me existential anxiety. Do you know what the diamonds are for? No. Do you? I do not know what the diamonds are for. Does it have to do with currencies? No. Someone must know. Irchi, I've had that same experience. What I do is I ignore those players. If you go into their work order and you click the drop down next to your name, you can have it hide that player from your view on that character forever. And it goes a long way. Diamonds are forever. I have no idea. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. According to Moulin Rouge, that's true. You did not like that movie? You didn't like Moulin Rouge? I loved it when I was a teenager. Watching it as an adult, I found it to be more disjointed. It's a Baz Luhrmann film, isn't it? Like, sometimes his movies are they're very vivid. They share a lot of the same themes and archetypes. And sometimes they're more concerned with the aesthetic than with the actual plot. Like 2 to 3 songs, too over the top for me. Yeah, it's more about the spectacle than it is about being coherent, I think. Especially with that one. I find that movie's a bit disjointed, but I still loved it anyways. I have a very vivid memory of walking home from school with a friend who I didn't know super well. She was nice and I liked her, and we would talk sometimes, but we weren't like besties or anything. But she lived in my neighborhood, so I was walking home from the bus with her. And it started pouring rain. potentially hail. For whatever reason, inclement weather happened to such a degree that it was no longer advisable for me to continue home. I would have gotten like absolutely soaked to the bone. So I went into her place instead, and I stayed there for a couple of hours until the weather cleared up so I could finish walking home, which I now realize sounds like the plot arc of like a K-drama romance scene. But we were just friends. I don't even think I called my mom. I think there was nobody home, and like we were both home alone. Like no one had any parents home. And she made hot chocolate, and we watched Moulin Rouge. And I remember, I think that was like maybe the only time I ever hung out with her. I feel like, I don't know if anything happened, or I don't think so. I think we just had other friends or something. But I still remember being really comfy. I had never been to her house before, so it was all like different. And I thought it was really nice that she made me hot chocolate and we watched that movie together. And apparently I don't remember her name. She had big curly hair like I did. Read difficulty. We're no good on the heroic. Time to try it on normal. Baz Luhrmann disjointed on a good day though. Yeah. What did I watch? I watched Nightmare Alley last year and actually liked that one more than I thought I did. Sometimes I like those ones more after they're over. Like I'll watch it and I'll be like, well, that was kind of weird, but then I'll still be thinking about it a few days later. Reset all instances. Not even her name. Names are hard. Like the music video about Moulin Rouge with Pink and Kim and Christina Aguilera. Are you sure you're not thinking of Oh, never mind. I'm confused. Favorite musical? Oh, that's hard. I love musicals. I like basically all the musicals I've seen. Teenage me would have said Phantom of the Opera because it's dramatic and over the top and filled with angst and vaguely gothic, and I loved it. There's also Repo the Genetic Opera, which I love very much and I watch every year. And then in terms of more like traditional musicals that are a little bit less modern, I adore Fiddler on the Roof. I know all the words. I can poorly sing all of the songs. I performed in a production of it, so I've seen it a bajillion times. Same thing with Jesus Christ Superstar. Although I recently rewatched Jesus Christ Superstar. I watched the film because I had really fond memories of being in like an amateur production of it. And I went back and watched the movie and I was like, these songs slap, but this movie's not very coherent. This is like a hard movie to sit through. It had banger songs and as a film, it's not great. What else? What else do I really love? I mean, Chicago. Teenage me would very much agree with Teenage you. Fiddler on the Roof is so long. It's so good, but it's so long. Would you consider things like Nightmare Before Christmas to be a musical? Technically, yes, but at that point, you're also including kind of... I feel like in my mind, I would lump Nightmare Before Christmas in along with things like, you know, the Disney Renaissance classics that had soundtracks, your Mulan and your Aladdin and whatnot. I also discovered, like, Nightmare Before Christmas just kind of missed me. I did see it. I remember I went to Disney World for when I was like 17, and I purchased a DVD of it for like $30, which was wild, at Disney World. And then I watched it a few times. It was cool, but I didn't see it at the right age to really fall in love with it, I think. I only watched Rocky Horror Picture Show for the first time, I think, last year. It was good. Maybe 2 years ago, I guess. Time kind of flies. The film is wild. Bunch of people riding a bus into a desert, busting out the songs. Yeah, it's the movie, the film adaptation of Jesus Christ Superstar is extremely 70s, which is fair. That's when it was made. It's extremely 70s, and it's kind of low budget, and it's a bit strange. But like the musical itself is similarly like banger songs, a little bit of a tricky plot to wind together. Yeah. Watched Fiddler in one of my college English classes. We had so much fun we convinced the prof to let us watch it a second time. Sound of Music. Favorite movie of all time. I watched Sound of Music a fair amount as a kid. I haven't seen it much when I was older. I think I lost the stamina to sit through it for a while. I've also, both Sound of Music and Fiddler have the same thing where they're kind of, they're great musicals and they're wonderful stories, and there's a little bit of a, oh, I got Transmog. You know, it's a little bit of a bummer when you get into the Second World War part. Recommendations of a secret pet to get. Recommendations for a secret pet to get. Historical aspect elevates it for me. It is indeed very long. I think the thing that I remember the most about The Sound of Music is when this lady made dresses for like 27 children out of drapes. I know it wasn't that many children, but it seemed like that many children. And I thought, at the time I was like, those are ugly dresses and they would have been very uncomfortable. But then later on, I'm like, oh cute, they all match. Sun Daughter Hatchling. I agree with Zoldak, that's a great one. Oh, Dame Avant, if you have not seen Fiddler, you simply must watch Fiddler. You simply must. The movie is so good too. That's a well done film adaptation. I love Yenta. Yenta the Matchmaker is my favorite. Yeah, Fiddler's a project. It's long. Oh. I'm ready to go back to bed. How come you get to tell people what to watch but never watch anything people tell you to? I mean, it works both ways. I can tell people don't have to watch what I tell them to watch. I think I get sometimes overwhelmed with. I get overwhelmed with recommendations sometimes. And when you get so many recommendations, you start to filter them out based on how well you know the person that's recommending you. Yeah. I want Hazel to watch Ghost World. The King and I is the one I watched the most when I was a kid. But I'm also I'm on a bit of a TV and film moratorium, so they'll just have to wait until one day. Simply too much stuff to watch. They need to stop. One nice thing about getting a lot of recommendations from chat, though, is that anything that gets recommended, and I'm sure this could be technically AstroTurf, but anything that gets recommended to me multiple times by multiple different people on different occasions will gain like a higher recommendation stat weight in my brain. That's what made me eventually read Mistborn, is every time we talked about book recommendations, enough different people wanted me to read Mistborn that I was like, all right, okay. Fine. And I wouldn't have done that if I hadn't read The Wheel of Time first, because that's what introduced me to Sanderson at the end of it. And I was like, all right, I can dig this. You should try World of Warcraft. Would you compromise and watch the trailer? I'm not watching anything right now. I have YouTube blocked. I have my television put away. I'm not watching any video content whatsoever. I'm on a bit of a break from it. I put the stuff away in June. The idea was to get me to focus more, but what has actually happened is I focused more for 4 days, and then now I just spend more time playing WoW and reading books, and that works for me for now. If that's the case, you definitely do not want to do that. Smash hit that is Disney Dreamlight Valley that you would really like. Yeah, maybe. Any luck? I mean, Transmogs. That was normal? Yeah, that was normal. I got a High Shadow Counselor's wrap. It's apparently a belt. Yeah, something. Alright. You go home. Sometime do watch the David Lynch team. One of the people that was pushing for Stray, you'll never have your recommendation taken again. I don't remember who was pushing for Stray. I know a lot of people were. And I think it was a reasonable recommendation to be made, because here I am. Person who plays video games. Person who loves cats. The cat video game comes out. You know, I get where people got that from. I'm just, how were they to know that I am obnoxious and really picky about the format of games that I play? Stray is a great game. It's just not the kind of game that I like. The fault is not with the game. The fault is with the category. I just don't really like games like that. And as cute as the cat was, I would rather just cuddle my cat. Okay. I'm gonna pop back into the Deadmines to kill Foreman what's his face again. I thought it was a horrible idea for you. Yeah, it did not work out for me. I think in my early 20s I might have done it. I used to have more tolerance for playing any game at all because I kind of thought as a variety gamer that's what I had to do. So I would sit through and I would finish games purely because they were games and I had bought them and I identified as a person who plays games. And I've gotten too old and tired and picky for that now. I just like playing the same games that I already know that I like over and over again. Go put a few more hours into Valheim. Or, you know, this. One of those I only play WoW people? Not necessarily just WoW. I like other games, and I'll go back to them here and there, now and then. I've got a startling amount of hours in Hearthstone Battlegrounds. I like Valheim. I liked Raft a lot. I have a great deal of hours in Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing. Alright, we did this one, this one, this one. So these two have skips ready. This one's already in Veldraken, so. Do you have a favorite moment that happened during streaming? I don't want to say that I black out while I'm streaming, but unless I saved a clip of something and watched it again later after the fact, I don't really remember very many things that happen while I'm streaming. It's kind of a weird headspace that I don't really retain in my memory. Which sounds weird, but I don't know. I could talk about like what I did on, like, today I could end my stream, and then I could talk about what I did today on stream. But it's hard to answer a question like a favorite moment can tell you mine. What is it? The Mage Tower victory was an emotional moment. Am I gonna try Palia? I don't know, maybe. Usually my policy with new games like that is I let them come out, I completely skip the initial hype train, and I wait for them to have existed for like 6 months to a year, and if they're still going really strong, then maybe I'll look into it. But there's so many new games, and MMOs in particular, that have a lot of splash and a lot of hype and no staying power, that I would rather, unless I guess I was trying to farm content out of it, as a player, I would rather wait that out and then see if it's gonna last before I go and invest any money or time into it. I think I have mine too. Wasn't really a moment, just a thing you said. Midnight dropping was up there. Some of those mount drops that happened after a really long time were kind of emotional just because I stopped thinking that it could ever happen. Both are from Valheim with Flabby. Slay Me Daddy. I do not remember that. The other one was when you locked him into prison under the stairs. I do remember that. Did he know that I was making him a jail when I put his bed in jail? My favorite memory from the Valheim stream was in the beginning where I was very new to Valheim and I was trying to stream it and I didn't really get it yet. And people were like, my house was filling up with smoke, and people were like, make a chimney, and I'm like, what, you just make a chimney? What do you mean? Like, I didn't understand. And I was very frustrated that I thought people wanted me to just go to the chimney store and just get a chimney. There wasn't a chimney button. And then the other one was when I was making said chimney, and I fell, like, off my ladder, took a bunch of damage, fell into my fire, caught on fire, died. And I think I was still tilted about the whole chimney thing, so that one's really stuck with me. I don't think I have any records of that stream. I think that one's lost to time. I think that one exists only in our memories. I don't think I saved it. Do you remember the context of when I said slay me daddy? Because that really doesn't sound like me. Was it about an enemy? What happened? What are you looking for? I want the green infernal from Gul'dan. Nothing to get all fired up over. And if you want, I can tell you. Am I gonna like the answer? How embarrassing is this on a scale of 1 to 10? Denathrius. Apparently it was Valheim related. Am I in my speed spec? Yeah, I am. Need to watch some Valheim streams to catch back up on how to play. Okay, mythic difficulty first. I think I'll save, I'll have one more character that can run Gul'dan after this one. I'm gonna do these 3 attempts, then I'll probably wrap up for the day. I think I'm gonna save the last characters, which is gonna be somebody who's currently in, I think it's Inksy, who's currently at Kairakta, so she can do Kairakta first tomorrow. You must tell us now. Flabby was big into PvP and had his Horde Slayer title. Oh dear. How did you have the epiphany that you're good at training people how to do dungeons? I don't think I'm still convinced of that. I just like explaining things. You know why I like explaining things? It feels like a school project. It feels like a worksheet. Writing dungeon guides kind of feels like homework, and I think there's a little scholastic nerd in me that misses homework. Flabby was the problem, checks out. Oh, I remember now. That's right. It wasn't me specifically. Someone else said that. And I told him about it because I thought it was so funny. That's right. People were kind of thirsting over Flabby's voice. That's right. It was you? I forgot about that. It was funny though. Yeah, it was. Chat never forgets anything you do. I mean, it's a good thing. I never remember anything that I do. Now I'm sad that I missed this. Yeah, I don't play other games very often, but usually something happens. I already forgot what you're doing in this raid. I want the green infernal mount. I'm looking for this thing that can drop off the last boss. Here, let's get Gul'dan. Wonder if WoW players can play without guides. Of course they can. People do. People have been doing. People will continue to do. They're certainly not mandatory. Love the Gul'dan battle pet. Red Infernal drops off the Mythic difficulty. Red Infernal drops off of Mythic Gul'dan only. I am lucky that that one's dropped for me already. I have this one. I just need the green one. They can't play with guides. Oh! Sometimes I can't play for love or money. Some days it's just not happening. Flabby's just a shaman without a real voice to me. What would I pull Flabby on the stream for these days? I guess we could do PvP. It would have to be twos though, unless we were pugging a third without voice. I've been mostly just suffering in solo shuffle. Time walking? Okay. Font of night. I think it's gonna be such a beautiful day. And I am just too toasted to think about any plans for the day. I'm pretty sure I don't even know if I'm gonna do lunch. I might just finish stream and then just go back to bed and try again later when I wake up. I think it's one of those days. No, it's hot. We had a couple hot days here, but it seems like it's calming down a little bit for now. I need to start on my days off driving a little tiny bit farther away from where I live in the city to go hang out and check out places that are farther from the city. If nothing else other than to scout potential neighborhoods where I might one day want to live. But also just because it's a little bit silly that I apparently don't want to drive farther than 20 minutes away from my home. That would be cool. I just need to get over it. I just need to do it and have fun, and then I won't worry about it so much. Did the news video deprive you of sleep? Not really, although I did get hung up on it for a little bit because it occurred to me there was almost nothing that I personally considered newsworthy. There wasn't a whole lot of like there wasn't a whole lot. So I decided to talk about Ogbookers, and it took me a while to kind of get my thoughts together, and it was quite late, but I had fallen asleep earlier. Nothing. Alright, well that was Mythics. We try again on Heroic. All your stuff is at home. Why leave? Yeah, you get me. My family thinks I'm nuts. They all are like cool, fun people that go do interesting things in places. My mom and her partner especially, they are constantly going up island and down island and to the Gulf Islands and house sitting here and visiting a friend here and going on a trip over here. And they do it all quite cleverly on a budget, but they're very cool. And they are not afraid to drive quite far to do these things. And meanwhile, I'm like, well, I could drive to the park, or I could just walk around the block again. Great difficulty. Heroic. Part of me wants to get a bike and then bike to the park, but I have just this fear that I'm gonna get splatted like a bug on someone's windshield. And then that's the end of Hazel. No one would ever get to find out how the Hazel story ends. You know? Does she buy her dream house? Does she ever get the big dog? Will she keep all of her limbs through her earthly life? We won't know if I get splatted like a bug on someone's windshield because I was trying to ride a bicycle and I don't have very good awareness. Bike share service. Not that I've seen there's car sharing, but the car's not the problem. Maybe. Oh yeah, there is an auction house dance party today. That's true. I found out you can restore deleted characters in WoW. Mm-hmm. You totally can. The story would end on a windshield, I suppose so. My mom is baffled that I spend most of my time either in my apartment or in a museum. I really like it at home. I feel like I could spend some time and effort making it even nicer here. I could reorganize my pantry, and I could probably declutter a closet, and I wiped down my windowsills yesterday and now they look all bright and shiny. It occurred to me that one of the things that I found so appealing about all of these real estate listings I was looking at is when there's a house or a home or condo or whatever that's like been well cleaned and beautifully staged. I think it's just the piece of looking at a clean, tidy, organized, uncluttered home. And it occurred to me that what if what I want isn't to move? Although I do eventually want to buy a place. But what if what I want isn't to move? I just want to live in the pretty place. And then I thought, well, I live in a pretty place. Why don't I just clean it up? Oh, I would assume if you never came back, it was not a happy ending. Back from Ireland. Galloway. Really pretty, but now I'm exhausted. Need to buy a proper couch, but then it cuts into my travel budget. Yeah. I just bought the couch and I figured I would spend... I think my thinking is that if I make my home feel like my dream Airbnb, then I don't have to travel because I can just stay home, and that will be like being on vacation. I swear on my weekends, my Monday, Tuesdays off, I feel like I'm on vacation because I'll sleep in and I'll enjoy coffee in my living room, and I'll walk to the market and just things that I feel like I would do if I was on vacation, but I'm at home. But because I live in such a gorgeous area and such a cute city, it's as though I've traveled here, even though I have lived here. Use my bed as a pseudo couch. Got things to make the pretty apartment even more pretty. I think that what I want is probably just a solid declutter and organize. I think that I just need to kind of kind of get through my stuff, make sure that I'm not keeping any loose ends that I don't need, and then dust a few things and just kind of put it all back. I think that'll help a lot. Moving every time your place gets too wow inventory, like. Nice to live somewhere where other people travel to. I don't appreciate that often enough. It's fun to kind of do the tourist thing in your own city, or to just do the whatever your favorite thing is to do in your own city, I've really loved getting to know my immediate area and all of my favorite little places to go and visit and things to see around here. And that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to if I one day move, is that I'll have a whole new area and I'll get to figure out what the best trails are in the parks and the, you know, there's a cat in that window and this shop has really good muffins and like whatever else is like in, you know, near there. I can remember fond things about every different place that I've lived in my life, and I've lived in 10 different places. And, you know, I'm excited to find out what the next ones are. The fact that my spine cracks like a glow stick yet refuses to actually glow, highly disappointing. Oh. One move every 3 years. Yeah, they weren't like evenly spaced out, but that is true. Average one move per 3 years. I don't know if that's a lot. I think some people move a lot more than that, and then some people have moved a lot less than that. I guess it just varies widely because people are all different. They've had different lives. It feels like a lot for me. I would like to stay put more than that. Big lot of moving. Mind you, I'm counting childhood moves in there too. If you increase your definition of immediate area from 20 minutes to like 35, you do have new options. If I cranked it to an hour, man, I was looking at the ferry schedule and I was realizing, man, because I was, I might go to Vancouver to visit some family in September. And I was looking at the ferry being like, okay, I mean, I know it's way too early to like reserve, but I was just kind of looking into it and being like, well, what's the long-term parking like? Am I going to try and bus to the ferry? Am I going to park there? Whatever. And I was like, wait, this ferry also goes to the Gulf Islands. I could take a ferry to Saturna Island or Pender Island or Salt Spring Island. Cool. I've always really liked riding BC ferries. They're, especially if you're not driving on and you can just like walk on and like hang out and just peruse the gift shop and watch the ocean go by. It's like kind of my favorite. And how come I haven't done any of this? You could ask my mom about it too. That's true. She knows everything. She's done it all. Don't even know how many times I've moved. Sounds like they get out there. They super do. I just, at this point in my life, haven't been much of a trip planner, but maybe that's something that I would benefit from learning. I think my favorite way to plan trips would be to focus more on day trips than actual, like, vacations. And to focus on things that are maybe not so much you go here and you spend a bunch of money, things like parks and trails and, like, nature stuff, and less about, you know, like restaurants and whatever. Pack sandwiches and thermoses of tea and then go to the beach kind of thing. Trip spreadsheet. It's a spreadsheet for trips. Mount Ink? I hope so. I've got one more attempt that I'm going to do today after this one. Unless I get it right now. No, I got an infernal contract. Love a ferry to an island in Western Australia, so I've got Rottnest Island right near me, where the quokkas live. Last trip was Oregon Coast before you moved it back. Last fall, I went to visit. My mom had gotten an Airbnb, and she asked me to go out there and spend a night with her there, and I did that. And I ended up spending 2 nights because that was the trip where I got the flat tire. So it was an extra night because I had to get my tire fixed and I couldn't drive back on it on that particular day. Raid difficulty normal. So I would consider that to be a trip because I was away for 2 whole nights. I still didn't have to take any days off stream though because it just happened to be Monday, Tuesday. More experience with Washington State ferries. Every time I take a new route, it's interesting. Every time I get an infernal contract, like, realize it's just a trinket. Where is my pet? Excuse me. Hampshire. This Argali makes sheep sounds even when I have pet sounds turned off. Or at least it was doing so recently. Did you get your tire fixed at Canadian Tire? Funnily enough, no. Despite the fact that I do shop at Canadian Tire more than I probably should. My favorite stupid thing to say is if I've had like a day of errands, because I'll get things like pet food or litter or like staple supplies, you know, dish soaps and stuff at Canadian Tire usually. And I'll do a day of errands and then I'll be at Canadian Tire and I'll be ready to go home and I'll say, I'm Canadian tired. And I think that's the funniest thing ever. It's also generally true. It's also extra funny because I'm a Canadian that's tired. Therefore, I am Canadian tired. It's extremely stupid, but I will die by that one. Cat food from a tire shop. It's, they sell all kinds of stuff there. It's not just a tire shop. They actually don't have tires at that place. Never heard that one before. Really? Yeah, it's basically it's a big general store. They don't have grocery, or at least they don't have grocery at the one that's in Victoria. But they have all kinds of stuff. They have like a toy section. They have outdoors goods. I got all my fishing gear there. They do camping gear. They have some amount of clothing. They have kitchen goods. I got all my kitchen stuff there, more or less. So like my pots and pans and towels and stuff. You know, you need like a fan to blow air around your bedroom. You need hardware. They do have hardware as well. That kind of thing. Or a Kroger. Yeah. You need a moment. Yeah, it's kind of like a big conglomerate company. They also own Mark's Work Warehouse, which is no longer... I think it's just Mark's now because they know that they're not... They also do the casual stuff, as well as, I want to say Sport Check. I think it's all the same brand because you can use your triangle rewards anywhere. What did I get at Sport Check? I think I got my running shoes there. I did not go for a run this morning. I was too tired. I leapt from bed 20 minutes before stream started and thought, oh, I must prepare. There was no time to run. Sport Check, the tire store. Sporting goods stores are not as much fun as general goods stores. I love grocery stores. I like grocery store bakeries. I like grocery store produce sections. I like it when they put the onions on sale. I like it when they put the avocados on sale. I exclusively buy avocados on sale. I'll get a bag of 4 avocados for $5 and feel like I've done something. Heirlooms to 70. When did that happen? When did that happen? Some patch in Dragonflight. Not the first one, but at some point after that. I think I want to die browsing a hardware store or Harbor Freight or Canadian Tire. When I was a little kid, my parents used to, pardon me, absolutely drag me to like Home Depot or Canadian Tire or whatever. Specifically Home Depot. And I was so bored. I hated going to Home Depot because the ceilings are so tall and the concrete floor is like hard on your joints and like it feels like there's nothing but air but not enough air in there. And it's so boring when you're a kid. And you're just like standing around watching them talk about like paint colors or like screws or something like that. And it's like, oh my gosh, I don't like it here. And meanwhile, the parents are like having the time of their lives. And now that I'm 30, I get it. I was in a Rona, which is a Canadian hardware store that's kind of like Home Depot. And I was like, this is so much fun. They have all kinds of things. I want to look at light fixtures. I'm renting. I don't need to replace any light fixtures. But one day, when Hazel gets her Hazel house, you better believe she's picking out all her light fixtures. Even if she has to save up for them and wait, and even if she has to hire a handy person that knows how to do it to come in and install them for her. I love light fixtures. What's your favorite gas station food? Not sushi. As somebody who used to work in a gas station, not a big fan of gas station food. I would get prepackaged snacks, if anything. The smell of Home Depot hurts my inner child. They all smell the same. Jack went on an anti-avocado rant. Haven't looked at him the same since. I mean, more for me. Watched a YouTube video on the technical aspect of light fixtures. I'm like, this will be useful one day. I, for whatever reason, went in a deep dive about learning how to install flush mount light fixtures and how to convert a flush mount light fixture into like a pendant or a chandelier light fixture. And I think what I learned as I was researching that is that I didn't want to do it. I learned that I could do it, but that I would rather have a professional do it. And I mean, that's a good thing to learn too. But I was just so excited. I think that I could probably do like taps. But even then, I think that if I can afford to pick out my dream like faucet, I can probably afford to get somebody who knows what they're doing to come put it in for me. You could learn how to install light fixtures live on Twitch. That would be good content. Can you imagine the backseating? Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, professionals exist for a reason. And I think it's nice that people are really good at stuff like that. And it's exciting to have an excuse to pay somebody to do something they're good at sometimes. Especially if they're doing it just for you, you know, like you get somebody to come in and install your dishwasher for you or whatever. And it's like you're getting a private, like they're not doing that just for the community. Like you've paid them to come in and do that for you. That makes you kind of, I don't want to say powerful, but like awesome. I always feel very flattered whenever somebody comes and performs a service for me. That was what I learned in the video. Cooling on a lot of fixtures is bad, reduces the lifetime of it. Saturday brain not optimal, evidently. Crispy Crunchy has the best gas station fried chicken. Any mounts? This is my last attempt for today, but I'll do 3 more tomorrow. Unless I get it, you know. Nada. Yeah, well. Back to Valdrakken you go. What time is it? 11:46. Let's go kill Foreman Thistle Nettle one more time, eh? Exclusive dishwasher installing experience for one person. Oh, man. I feel like in my life that I'm imagining that I'm gonna have, if I had budget for a year and I had like $3,000 and I was like, well, you could go on vacation or you could buy the perfect dishwasher and get it installed. I feel like I'm team dishwasher. I have this fantasy about, I think it's because I've always lived in places that had appliances that are kind of finicky. And maybe all appliances, no matter how perfect they are always kind of finicky. But I have this fantasy about things like like a washer where you're not worried about, well, you can't wash 2 towels at the same time because they get too heavy and they get the belt all off, you know? Or dishwashers that just like, I don't know, work. I guess I don't have a dishwasher at all right now, aka team boring. What are the teams? Team vacation or team appliances at home. I think anything that's going to save me time and grief in my day-to-day life is something that I value more than a short-term experience. But that's probably because I'm too scared to go on vacations. They involve leaving home. Okay, Crinkle, if you could get this Foreman Thistle Nettle to give you his gloves, that would be awesome. If you were gifted 10K, you had to spend it all in 1 year. Aside from the obvious answer of house down payment. Let's say I already own a house and I'm given 10K and I have to spend it in a year. And let's assume that I'm spending it on myself and not just, you know, doing things for other people like a philanthropist. Yeah, let's assume I'm not going to be boring and fiscally smart and just invest it. What do I do with 10,000? Hey, it's Smelly Stewart. I feel like for that much, you could really do like all of your appliances. If we're talking appliances, you could do washer, dryer, fridge, dishwasher. Maybe by the time you get to the stove, you're kind of running out of money. Or like I think maybe a renovation. I think that I would do like either a kitchen or a bathroom renovation. And if I was gonna overspend on it, get like a designer, like an actual designer to plan the thing. Shower, I'm not that fussed about. I feel like fancy showers are more trouble than they're worth because they're just harder to clean and you get just as thoroughly showered in a cheap shower as in an expensive shower. I would not be against like a soaker tub or a clawfoot tub, but I'm probably going to change my mind once I have one and I have to clean it. Spend it on rent, save the money that you would have used on rent. Yeah. Or a garden hose. Man. One day I'm gonna have a hose. I'm a watering can. I'm a carefully water your balcony plants with a watering can kind of person right now, and it's not my forever life, I'll tell you that much. My shower needs to feel like the rainforest or I'm unfulfilled. Should be able to do both. What if this, it would probably be not ideal. Probably be too much humidity. I'm imagining a shower that has a big skylight that has enough natural light for like ferns to be in there. And I'm imagining this bathroom with like, that feels like a rainforest. This is probably a bad idea. Bathrooms are sterile for a reason. I'm glad you guys get me. I'm glad you feel the dream. I'm gonna wrap up for today. I'll be back tomorrow. We have 5 more attempts on Gul'dan to do. 3 more attempts on Gul'dan to do. That have the skip, and then I'm probably back to transmog farming. Thank you very much for joining me today. If you want to watch Twitch VODs, but you want to do it on YouTube, we have a YouTube channel for that. I will link it down here. I also put out a fresh news video this morning on my main YouTube channel, so that's up. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.